improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low-T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok
at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
It's a great intro song because we're going to hear from Gabriel Landeskog, Kevin. And Gabriel Landeskog is chick magnet. Man rocket, some people call him. He was up for it last night against an LA team that was banged up, beat up, interim coach, all the workings of, hey, we're going to go kick your butts. And then that didn't necessarily go down. But they did get the 2 points. I keep reminding myself that and want to remind the tribe of that as well. But I want to talk about what this team looks like, and then I want to let everybody hear what Landy was saying after the game and then how we feel about peaking at the right time. I said it, man. At 5-on-5, this is still the best team in hockey. They got to 40 wins last night. They're the first team to do that. Again, look at the regulation losses, still very, very low compared to those 40 wins. What is it, 40-10 and whatever the overtime losses are? Yeah, 40-10-9 for the Colorado Avalanche. So you think about what's happening, and earlier we told you, hey, McKinnon's starting to figure some stuff out. Marty having a few good games. Gabe is starting to come back. We've now seen Kale score 2 goals post-Olympic break. Last night, the Taser got one post-Olympic break thanks to a nice setup pass and play from Nathan McKinnon. I said it in the first hour. Your studs are starting to army crawl in the right direction. I like what you said. That means everybody else has no choice but to follow suit. So if we talk about what this team is 5-on-5, is it something that we certainly have to worry about? And again, maybe you worry about them keeping it 5-on-5, but I think the further away we get from that Olympic break, the less sloppy hockey we're going to see with these guys getting back into rhythm. They played 20 and a half minutes at even strength last night. I get it's the Kings, but shot attempts, 38-14 Colorado. Shots on goal, 22-6 Colorado. Scoring chances, 25 Colorado, and just goals overall, 3-0. 5-on-5, and they only got to do that for just north of 20 minutes. So when they clean up the penalties, which I believe is going to happen with just more time on the ice and time on the ice as a group,
right?
You play more 5-on-5 hockey, you get back to, let me steal your term for a second, that wagon that they were.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get back there, and they got plenty of time to ramp up before the postseason, and there's a trade deadline coming up where we're anticipating the return of Nazem Kadri. We'll see if they can actually make that happen, but as of right now, with Gabe Landeskog and company, like, go out there, show that physicality you need, don't go over the line. Don't lack discipline, as Gabe himself, in my opinion, had lacked discipline a few times. Last night, a little bit different. And, of course, last night, your stars coming through in the way that they needed to. So that's a good sign. It's a positive sign. You took a punch from a team with a new coach, a little bit of a bounce there from that situation. You took it and you handled it. Even after a first period dominance that you hadn't seen, it seems like it's been a while since we've seen that. Can you get back to that? Can you get back to that team that enters the third period and you just know it's over because of those wagon-like tendencies? That's what Gabe and company, Nate and company need to do.
Yeah, it's like I said, sample size against the Kings last night, which aren't a great team, but gave them everything they could handle in last night's hockey game. I just think we're starting to see these little signs of, hey, this dude's figuring it out. Now that dude's figuring it out. It's this trickle-down effect. And like I said, when your studs are army crawl in the right direction and eventually return back to form as the best 5-on-5 team with multiple, let's turn that into 30 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes of 5-on-5.
Right.
And you're the best team. All of those little things that we had to nitpick on, which they gave us reasons to do, it's not like they'll be swept under the rug, but we'll be seeing such a different product that it won't have the same impact that it's having now.
Right, and then you're going to see other teams start to get desperate because in 5v5 you're just completely better. You're absolutely the better team, so there can be some frustration, which leads to some opportunities for, guess what? Power play.
Yeah.
That would be nice to get that fixed. But last night, we haven't talked about this yet, and I think it's important because Jazz Nuggets, you're like, okay, go get the win. Kings Avs, you go, okay, go get the win, right? Two slappy level teams where you're like, okay, this should be a couple of wins. It was a couple of wins. But I feel much differently about the Avs performance than I do about the Nuggets performance. The Nuggets performance, there's more alarm bells. The Avs performance, because of the coaching change for the Kings, it's like, okay, what are they going to get there? How is that going to look different? Are they going to have a little bit more spunk, a little fight? And they did. So the Avs situation was much different than the Nuggets situation. Both wins over teams that you should win. But with the Avalanche, you go, okay, they're starting to see signs, even against a bad team, but signs in this odd situation that they can get back to where they were in terms of starting the game hot, trying to stay hot. They weren't able to do that. Again, if that penalty doesn't go, then all of a sudden it's 3-1, then there's more dominance there.
Yeah, to your point, who was in this dude? John Michael Lyles said that last night, too, of like, they don't take that off. This is a completely different game that we're talking about.
Right,
here.
And there's also something mentally to say, especially with Betsy losing his mind, which is rare, and Nate being mad, which is not rare. But it's like, mentally, does that kind of shake you up a little bit? Like, again? Officiating again?
Right.
We're never going to blame the officials, win or loss, but they seem to be a little bit snake bit when it comes to getting these bad calls.
I want to hear from Gabe, because Gabe said something. You and I talked about that wagon term that you came up with earlier. Like, all right, they can't sustain this for 82 games and then a Stanley Cup run, so they've hit the wall. Now can they get back to that version? Can they peak before the postseason? That's what Landy was talking about last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a pretty special start of the year, first half. But I think as a group, it's just you're really only as good as you are to this point, as you are today, and as you continue to play moving forward. So we haven't done anything yet. I think as a group, we have high expectations and high standards in our locker room, and that's the way it's going to continue to be. And you need to make sure you improve your game continuously, and as mid-April, late April, and into the spring comes around, you got to be playing your best hockey.
See, and he's so calm and collected as he says it, it makes me go, okay. Maybe they can still get back to that form right before the postseason, and they were virtually unbeatable for 3 months of the NHL season. Can you give me that for the last month and a half? Raise Lord Stanley, and we all get loose at a parade.
Yeah, that'd be fun to get loose at a parade. And the fun thing is with this Avs team is and just listen to Landy right there, like there's a confidence level that I don't think you have with the Denver Nuggets. Now, coaching situation, David Allen and Jared Bednar, we're all going to put our chips on Jared Bednar. Right? And I think that confidence trickles down from him, from McFarland in the direction of the front office, from Jared Bednar and what he can do, but also these players, including Gabe, just knowing how good they are, knowing how good they need to be to win it all. And something our very own Mike Evans, it's out on social networking right now, Mike Evans saying Gabe has been a huge disappointment this year.
Oh, Evans calling out the captain.
Yeah, I don't know why Evans would take that stance against said captain, because can you say, is Gabe not what he used to be? Yeah, but who thought he would be?
That's what I was going to say. What kind of expectations did Mike have coming into this?
But saying huge disappointment, I wouldn't even say that he's a mild disappointment. I'd just say that he's not quite what he used to be, but the things that you get from Gabe are so much not on the ice. When they are on the ice, it looks great. It's fantastic, but there's so much the leadership that he brings, the fact that his words carry so much weight within that locker room, and just his mere presence.
Exactly.
Guy fought 3 years to get out there. You're not going to give me everything you got?
Well, and to your point, like we talked about the panic button with the Nuggets, nobody in the Avs locker room is going to panic because of that guy and him not allowing it because of the cool, calm, collected nature of himself.
Yeah, he's very calm, very confident.
Yeah.
I think there's a confidence with this team that'll benefit them that the Nuggets could use a little bit more of.
I guess if I look like that, I'd be pretty confident, too. That's a handsome devil, that Gabe Landeskog, dude. He can't do no. Last night in his post-game presser, his hair's all sweaty. He's just rubbing his fingers through it. I'm like, he got more attractive. He got more handsome with the messy hair. It was unbelievable. People are weighing in on your rain conversation.
Yeah.
Big Perm.
What up, Big Perm?
He says, rain is the most powerful scent to humans. Humans can smell rain from miles and hours away. The Big Perm teaching us something.
Yeah.
I was out on a boat once on Lake Texoma on a dude's fishing trip for the family.
Yeah.
And it was like straight out of a movie where you could smell the rain. It was going to come, and we were having a good time, so we didn't care too much about the cold. And it was like on one side of the lake, it started raining, and you could just see it coming at you because of the water. You know what I mean? Like it was one of the. I'm seeing it right now. It was one of the coolest like images I've ever seen in my entire life. I could get down on some rain. It was warm rain. We were a little banged up. And we just sat out in it and jumped off the boat, kept fishing. It was so fun, dude. It was one of the funnest days of my life.
It wasn't little bitty stinging rain?
A little bit when you got in. Sideways rain.
Okay.
And then also Eric is in New York City. Check out the show. Thank you, Eric. That rain smell is called, I'm going to butcher this, petrichor? Petrichor, I think he says what it is actually called. So there is a name for it, and now we know it can be smelled from miles away. We don't just entertain about sports. We give them weather updates here on this program as well. Yeah, good luck getting that stuff anywhere else. All right, Cece, you said it. Today in the NFL is tag day. Teams have until this afternoon to decide whether or not they're going to use a tag, what kind of tag they're going to use on said player. We've got the latest on Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall. Breece Hall might not be as available as some Broncos fan wanted him to be. We'll get into that coming up next.
Head to Facebook.com/DenverSports1043 The Fan to watch Orange and Blue Today, The Rundown, and Denver Sports Daily on demand. Take your favorite shows with you anytime, anywhere. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. There's never a good time for your garage door to break, whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs, because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage door is what we do, but making your life easier and your home safer is why we do it. Families trust us because we deliver, and we'd be honored to earn your trust too. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
303 Law 4040. Want to share one of the best compliments we've ever received. Had a listener call in to 303 Law 4040. His name was Peter. His wife was viciously attacked in a dog bite incident. So we set up a time to have him come in, and I met with him at length while his wife was recovering at the hospital. A couple days later, my wife recognized the number. She had spoken to Peter before. So when the phone call came in, she said, Peter! It was actually Peter's wife. She said, how did you know? She said, well, we love our clients. She was just surprised that we recognized the number. We had her come in, we met with her, and she says, you know, I feel like we're your only clients. It's really awesome. We're not your only clients, are we? No, they're not our only clients, but what a compliment that our clients feel valued and that we treat them with such a high level of service. If you ever need us, that's the type of service you will get too. It's Jacob's Law, 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it.
You live in Colorado, you love those mountain views. Well, you want to maximize your window space, your glass space, and you could do that with custom windows at windownation.com. Windownation.com, they're there for you with over 1,500 styles and colors to choose from. And in March, the more you buy, the more you could save. Up to 50% off all window styles right now at windownation.com. You can go out there, get your windows done, and enjoy that beautiful Colorado scenery. It's windownation.com. Visit windownation.com for your free consultation today.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975. Hey guys, it's Zach Bai here. I want to make sure you know about Step Denver, a residential peer recovery program right here in the ballpark neighborhood. Step Denver helps men recover, learn how to stay sober, and put the pieces of their lives back together. There is no cost. They don't bill insurance or Medicaid, so men can get into the program the same day. I'm talking to the men out there, or maybe a friend or family member who is struggling with addiction. Step residents work full-time jobs and put the tools they're learning into play daily, building a solid foundation and savings before leaving the program. I've met men who've been through Step Denver, and I can tell you it works. Step Denver's program of sobriety, work, accountability, and community is a proven formula that leads to long-term outcomes that double the national average. Their staff have walked the same hard road to recovery. They've been there. They know what it's like, and they know what it takes. Are you ready for help? Visit stepdenver.org for more info. You want to help? Step takes no government funding and relies on private donations. You can be part of the solution at stepdenver.org. The door to a better life is open.
Denver counts on Fix-It 24/7 for heating and plumbing with legendary service. Proud partner of the Denver Broncos and proud to serve the community. Book now at fixmyhome.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Denver Sports 1043 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
All right, it is tag day in the NFL. Teams have until 2 o'clock Mountain Time today to decide if they're going to use a tag on a player. And then if you are, what kind of tag will you use? Now, just to be transparent and kind of pull the curtain back, we were hoping to have a conversation about Breece Hall here and go, hey, maybe they only use the transition tag and there's still some opportunity for the Denver Broncos to go and get a guy like Breece, because there were some rumors. Our buddy Luca Evans over at the Denver Post said Breece has a pre-existing relationship with Broncos running back coach Lou Ayani from recruiting him and also some time at Iowa State working together. A source with direct knowledge, according to the Denver Post, says that Hall has plenty of interest in the Denver Broncos. But, and there's always that but, the Jets did it this morning. They have officially slapped the franchise tag on one Breece Hall. It puts his price tag at around or near $14 million. And Cecil, I believe you said it's 7/15. July 15th they have until, hey, he's going to play on the tag. He's going to collect that amount of money. We got a new deal. We found a trade partner. Or the last step would be, I'm not doing any of those things. I hate you guys. I'm holding out, and I don't want to play football for the Jets.
And that's the thing. Now they've basically got more time to work out a long-term deal. And how do you make things better? Money. So Breece Hall should not sign this. A lot of guys don't. Some guys do, and then they just go right to work immediately and whatever. But it's like, okay, you're a running back. You're lucky you get paid. So don't sign this. And by the way, with the franchise tag, it means 2 first-round picks.
So if you get him away from them, you're giving up 2 first-round picks.
You get 2 first-round picks. So now the Jets have time until the middle of July to sign him to a long-term deal, and basically you're telling everyone to stay away. A franchise tag, and again, it's a 1-year, fully guaranteed contract. Players don't like that. Well, teams go, now you can't touch him, basically. This makes Breece Hall a non-factor for the Denver Broncos because no one's going to give up 2 first-round picks for a running back.
No, absolutely. And he's the best of the bunch in this class right now, but 2 first-round picks for that position is absolutely a mistake.
Yeah, it's enough. And, well, you're the Jets. I mean, they regularly make bad decisions. Do the Jets. Keeping Breece Hall is actually good for them. It's bad for him. It's bad for the Broncos. It's bad for fantasy GMs, but it's good for the Jets.
Yeah. They get to sell a couple more tickets. Like, hey, come watch this guy.
Right. He's really good. We paid him a bunch of money.
Before we're 2-12 and no one comes. But yeah, it's
Aaron Glenn gets fired in week 8.
Is it a situation where they can agree upon a deal, let's say, after the draft, right? And that's the waves are over in free agency and the draft has officially come to a conclusion and they go, all right, we're signing Breece Hall to a 3-year deal for $60 million and 45 of that is guaranteed. I'm just making the numbers up.
Sure.
So you can do whatever you want. Could they then trade him? Like, hey, all right, we've got him signed, tags away.
Yeah,
now we want to trade the guy.
Yeah, everything's open. If he's under contract, he's tradable. So that's kind of my Short answer.
But they were what? What did you say? They were looking for a third at the deadline last year?
Yeah.
And now they could get 2 firsts, so they're probably going to stay right in that lane.
Yeah, so right now, this Broncos running back situation is one to watch because you weren't in on Dave Montgomery. I believe Mike Kliss told our morning show when Mike Evans wasn't calling out Gabe Landeskog for being hugely disappointing. Way to go, Mike.
Yeah, let's hear what he said to them about Montgomery.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. From what I understand, they're looking at the market as far as a running back goes. I know they do want to bring Dobbins back. Probably I'm guessing on a 1-year deal. 1 year and 4, something like that. Is you weigh the injury he's had versus the production when he's healthy. 1 and 4, 1 and 5, something like that would make sense. I don't know if they can sign him, but even with Dobbins and Harvey, I think they're looking at the market for another running back. But I didn't hear anything about Montgomery.
I mean, they better be in the market if it's Dobbins that you're going to bring back because you can't rely upon that. Cecil screamed that to the heavens all last year. It's very disappointing, especially because we now know the price tag for David Montgomery that they weren't in on the conversation. At least make the call.
They've been disappointing because they didn't give up a third rounder for Breece Hall last year at the trade deadline. Breece Hall would have got you the Super Bowl and Bo Nix would have won you the Super Bowl because Bo Nix would have been healthy because you could have ran the ball and you didn't need your quarterback to run and get hurt. So that's disappointing. Like, you were in a Super Bowl window. Who would have cared about the third rounder, right, this year that you got Breece Hall for? And, you would have had to pay him. You'd have been coming off he'd been like Kenneth Walker. Like,
you get a pass Super Bowl after MVP. The Super Bowl.
And Bo Nix be the Super Bowl MVP. It would have been awesome. Would have been glorious. So they dropped the ball, didn't trade for Breece Hall. I feel they dropped the ball and not being more in on Dave Montgomery. You bet your ass they got to get this thing right, man. And J.K. Dobbins isn't getting it right. J.K. Dobbins is part of an answer, but he's not the full answer. He's not an answer that you could trust. I know he's the nicest guy ever, and he's a Buckeye and a Bronco. All right, dude, I get it, but you're hurt all the time. I'm not injury prone. Why are you hurt all the time?
Yeah, your track record suggests otherwise.
Exactly. So it comes down to trust. I'm sick of this dollar bin, like, let's just go get a guy in June. You got to have an upgrade. Breece Hall would have been that upgrade last year. Now the Jets have taken that away from you. You better be on Kenneth Walker, who is not tagged today. You better be in on Travis Etienne, who is likely the top free agent back, not named Kenneth Walker. You better be in on Tyler Algier, who I think would be a real nice combination with R.J. Harvey. You better get this running back thing right if you want to go further than you did last year.
And see, I'm kind of at a point where, all right, I don't necessarily need J.K. back. I'm kind of in this RJ, plus you say Tyler Algier. I've written Travis Etienne on my board up here of our wish list. I think either of those are serviceable names. And then if that's the case, so if I go RJ, we know is in the mix. Insert the running back that you like, and now Breece Hall's not in the equation anymore. So insert the name you like. I'm going to say Travis Etienne. So if I told you my running back room in 2026 is Travis Etienne as the lead back, RJ Harvey as the next man up, and then let's go Mike, was it Washington, the kid out of Arkansas, who's the fastest kid alive when it comes to the running back room, and then you give him a proper path to be developed in year number one. That running back room with R.J. Harvey, Travis Etienne, and Mike Washington out of the University of Arkansas is light years ahead of what it was a year ago, especially when J.K. went down.
Yeah, you've got to take that seriously and go get that playmaker, man. Go get the playmaker. And the playmaker at the running back position is still Travis Etienne. It's still Kenneth Walker. I think Algier in tandem with R.J. Harvey could be a really great, strong ground game for this Broncos offense. And a Broncos offense with Davis Webb calling plays, probably going to lean on the ground game a little bit more. And that's all good news as well. You want Bo Nix to be a 4,500-yard passer. It's not going to come without a better ground game. You need some balance. You need something so that teams just don't play cloud coverage and say, take everything underneath because we know you're not going to run the ball. They give you a soft box, you crush that box. And that's what the Broncos need to do, and they've not had that intent.
Yep.
Now with Davis Webb, hopefully they do have that intent.
One of our texters, the 289er, love the 289er, says it feels like a run-it-back situation. They would make a major mistake if that were the case. They've had some swipes and misses on running backs. I do not think they're in a position to go, hey, let's run it back because of the history of one J.K. Dobbins. I just do not see that being the case. And if it is, I have more questions about who George and Sean Payton are. But I don't think that's the case. All right, we'll get back to that conversation. We'll talk about some of those other running backs that might be in the mix with now Breece Hall being out. If you're just joining us, he got the franchise tag slapped on him this morning by the New York Jets. If you're just joining us, you're just in time for our second name in our Superfan Send-Off contest. Today, this hour, we're looking for Paige Temple. Paige Temple, you could be heading to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world, thanks to 303-LAW-4040. If you call us back within the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043, you're entered into the drawing for the Super Fan Send-Off Grand Prize. That's a pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for you and a guest from Denver to Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and how about $500 preloaded on a Visa gift card. Paige Temple. It could all be yours, but you got to call us back now at 303-713-1043. If you haven't signed up like Paige has, get to DenverSports.com/superfan now, and then all you have to do is listen. We're calling names every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Say what's up to Josh Temple if you're related to him, Paige. That's my guy right there. All right, Cecil, we got to check our X. It's something we do every day around 11:45. You remember the Lion King song, right? We all sing it. Ah, Saganya. Wait until you hear what they're actually saying. It's unbelievable and hilarious. That's coming up next.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports.
Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach your friendly live agent. Donation's super easy and your car can be picked up by tomorrow. Call now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
You're listening to Sports Talk Radio at work. So is your competition. So are your customers. Denver sports fans don't half listen. They argue. They text in. They remember stats from 1998. They remember who sponsors their obsession. Audio, video, or online. We've got every angle covered. DenverSports.com. Make your move.
Hey guys, boy Steak here today by my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Score big, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports.
Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. Don't at me, bro. It's time to check your X.
Why are you stalking me?
No, not that X. Twitter, unfollow. Here's Dover and Cecil to help you swipe, scroll, and screenshot your way through today's top headlines.
Power of social media. I'm on Team Getza.
All right, I got a couple things to share with the tribe, to share with Cecil, and then I want to know what's cracking over on Cecil's Twitter timeline. I mentioned that Lion King song. I feel like everybody in the world knows it.
Yeah.
My little nephew Emerson, he can't go 3 seconds without busting it out. So there's this Twitter account called South Dallas Foodie, and they're just sharing the clip. I'm not sure if these guys are responsible for the Twitter page, but it's 3 guys on a podcast, and they're talking about the movie The Lion King. Who doesn't love The Lion King, right? It's an all-time classic. And the song, when little Simba is born, and right, it's Rafiki, is that the monkey? He's up there holding him up, and then Saganya, or whatever they say. I'm probably butchering it. I didn't know what it meant. I thought
that's what they said.
Said that and went like, oh, cool, great memory from my childhood. So this podcast is telling us what they're actually saying, and then the English translation.
You were way off. All right. What does it mean? It means, look, there's a lion. Oh, my God. You're joking. That is not what that means. That is not what that means. That's exactly what it means. That's what it means. Look, there's a lion. Oh, my God. Look, there's a lion. Oh, my God. It's a lion.
So that's it, dude.
Yeah.
Look, it's a lion. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That is amazing. That's incredible. Because it's all true.
And we've been doing it just, nonchalant, not knowing a damn thing what's going on. I'm like, that is a beautiful line. What a beautiful lyric.
Right.
And they're literally saying, look, there's a lion. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That's so awesome. Now that's all I'm going to say. When I watch The Lion King or the movie they ripped off to make it from Kimba the White Lion, which was, I don't know if you know that story.
I don't know that one.
You've never seen Kimba the White Lion?
Uh-uh.
So it was a 60s Japanese anime. It's pretty much The Lion King.
Okay.
Disney just heavily inspired, I'll say that. I'm not going to say they ripped it off, but like the original Lion King story is essentially Kimba the Lion, the White Lion, and it's a Japanese anime from the 60s, and it's awesome. It's incredible, and it's literally the same story.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. Didn't, what was Avatar, and they said Avatar was a ripoff of...
well, that's Dancing with Wolves.
No, it's like an animated, the girl falls in love with John Smith, or Pocahontas. Isn't that the same thing?
And Dances with Wolves, yeah. Avatar's always like Dances with Wolves with aliens or whatever. So, yeah, inspired...
heavily influenced.
There's not any new ideas, but there's, hey, take that idea and then put your stuff on it. Lion King is straight up Kimba the White Lion.
Hey, there's a lion. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I need that on this board immediately,
yes,
please.
Yes, please. Can we get that?
I think we have a new in-between tweak sound.
Wobble with me, wobble with me, wobble with me.
All right, last one for me now. Apparently someone's coming clean on this, but did you see the whole Jim Carrey clone thing? going on. And again, I don't follow too much of the awards
Alex guy,
stuff.
did he come out and he said it was him in a mask?
Alexis Stone.
Alexis
he said he
Stone.
did a prank and a social experiment. He's like,
but we sure that's him because people said that he was just trying to take credit for it.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. And he is like a Hollywood makeup mask guy,
yeah.
And the biggest one, basically. He's saying it was just an experiment, but I don't know. He could be messing with us all still. People caught it pretty quick. Is that what he was trying to figure out? Of, hey, we clone people, how fast is the general public going to figure it out? Because they figured it out pretty fast on the internet.
I mean, it was almost immediately.
Yeah.
One, the eye color's different.
His eye color were different. And they did like just a still of his eyes.
Right.
And like skin tone and wrinkles around eyes were different.
Yeah, it's an odd choice.
Yeah.
But we've seen it. Do you remember, of course, Breaking Bad and Walter White? Bryan Cranston walked around San Diego Comic-Con with a Walter White mask on.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was mask. Clearly it was a mask, but it was like, no, that was actually Bryan Cranston. So you'd go up taking selfies with people because people were like, wow, what a great mask.
Yeah.
And it was actually...
It's him under there.
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this Alexis guy, if he did that with the Jim Carrey mask, I was like, that's an odd choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's an odd choice.
It's just like people have so much time and money. Like that's what you decided to do is try to see if you could get over on being Jim Carrey.
Right.
Who cares that much about Jim Carrey in an award show?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Wobble with me, wobble with me, wobble with me.
All right, Cecil, what's happening?
All right, of what I can talk about, are you a napper? Do you take naps?
I have in the past. When I was working nonstop,
Yeah.
I would work until midnight and then had to be at the next job at 6 a.m.
Whoa.
So I would take naps daily in between my stops.
Okay, and now you're just going to bed at like 8?
Now I go to bed at 8:30, yeah.
When did that happen?
I don't know, dude.
Let's
It's
just mix
recent.
in a nap.
Yeah, it's
Get
recent.
home, mix in a nap, and then you can stay up past 8.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
I do need to stay up later. It's actually, I'm literally in bed by 9 o'clock since I've been home from vacation.
Okay, so retro toys and cartoons, which, of course that comes up on my Twitter timeline, says people who take naps are real heroes. It takes courage to wake up twice a day.
That's true.
So I'm like, okay, is it just an old guy thing? Or like because naps when you're a kid, awesome, and then you fight him because you're a rebel and I'm not going to take a nap. And then when you get older, you're like, you know what sounds good? Nice nap. We're talking about the smell of rain, like things that are nice.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to smell rain this morning.
Oh, rain.
You know what
and a
else is
nap?
refreshing?
Yeah.
Little 20-minute cat nap. Not 30 minutes, not 15. Don't make me mad. Don't wake me up. But like a little 20-minute, you get to 20. It's almost like the perfect thing to recharge you.
It's just, that's what it is. You're the quick little recharge, like, boom, I'm up. I have enough energy to get through the day, and I still can get my, full beauty sleep the rest of the evening. I probably do need to mix in some naps now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not like we wake up early, though. Or I guess maybe you have to, but
Yeah, it depends.
we start work at 10, pretty chill, honestly.
It's nice. It's nice, especially when those late night games happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Wobble with me, wobble with me, wobble with me.
Okay. Do you remember the movie? Because the 1980s, this one from Retro Recall.
Okay.
No one. We need a movie about arm wrestling truckers, the 80s. Go on. I'm listening.
Heck yeah. God, what was the movie called?
The arm wrestling truckers.
Yeah.
What was the movie called? All the Way? No.
No, it's like it's a cult classic, right? Sylvester Stallone, backwards hat, boom, ripping dudes' arms off. The hell was the movie called?
Was it
Over the Top.
Over the Top.
Over the Top.
There we go.
Over
That's
the-
exactly
All the
it.
Way?
I mean, the 3 words, right?
That's a different movie. But Over the Top, a cult classic who I don't know how much you entertain like 80s movies.
I'll get down with them.
Okay. But sometimes you go back and you're like, why did we need a movie about arm wrestling truck drivers? I don't have anything against arm wrestling truck drivers, but I'm like, that's a weird plot point to follow.
It's I feel that way about Roadhouse. Remember Roadhouse?
Oh, yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
thought it was just. I'm like, so wait, these drunk guys. It's like these drunk guys like to fight, so they
Yeah.
got a job as doorman.
You're a doorman.
And then they just beat people up in the bar.
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
Sure.
But not necessarily something I needed. I think what Over the Top is movie executives going, Sylvester wants to do it? Yeah, we're in. We're in.
Let him do it.
He'll do because everything he did generated millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, and the plot from this is from AI on Google, Lincoln Hawk.
Nice.
What a name.
badass
Lincoln Hawk.
name.
How American are you? You're Lincoln Hawk. Sylvester Stallone tries to win back his son, Michael, while competing in the World Arm Wrestling Championship.
See, I've only seen
So
it
now
once.
we have like slap fighting. So
Yes.
someone going to do like over the top with slap fighting?
Oh, I bet you they would.
What other ridiculous sports could we do? Like a sports, because it's over the top a sports movie.
What's that thing
It's
where
arm
the,
wrestling. It's a sport,
the
right?
two giant guys were just running into each other. Remember that? We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
What is that game called?
It's called CTE. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it
exactly.
Really is.
It's called, I can't remember my name.
Yeah.
So are we going to we need some sort of where's the pickleball movie over the top? You know what I mean? We need where's the curling over the top?
Oh, that'd be good.
We need everything done, but with a more ridiculous sport. Because an arm wrestling movie, that's pretty ridiculous, like a curling movie would be or something like that.
Yeah, but if you leaned into it, it might be pretty fun.
Exactly.
Especially you could capitalize on the Olympics right now.
You'd think
Like,
Sylvester Stallone
Canada
was
guy
serious.
cheating with the finger, you know?
He was serious about being a truck driver, an arm wrestling truck driver.
You know something? I've probably never told this to you about myself. I always have this, like, I don't really have a backup plan. I'm not really good at anything. And
my backup plan is pushing carts. So
yeah,
I'll be a cart boy.
I'm like, I could probably get a trucker's driver's license and just drive all over the country. They make the world go round. I might as well contribute in some way. So that's what I'd probably do. I'd be a truck driver, just cruising. Me, my wiener, dog, Bruce, and Kelsey, just kicking it in the cab of the truck.
Okay.
I'd make her come on every trip so I'd have somebody
So you'd
to talk
be
to.
over-the-road trucker.
Yeah.
Driving for legally 10 hours or 8 hours, whatever the limit of two.
Yeah. And you've seen my arms. I'm probably not going to arm wrestle anybody, but down for a game of skate or something like that.
Okay, I got you.
All right, that's what's on our timeline as we have some fun every day around 11:45. Let's get back into our lunch hour and back into what we watched last night. Sure felt like the definition of a win is a win for both the Nuggets and the Avs. Neither looked great. Both survived and got wins on the road. Who do we have more confidence in getting back to themselves, and how long is that actually going to take? Let's kick that around coming up next.
Oh my God! Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok
at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
When it's cold, the last thing you want is your home's heater to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you warm and comfortable quickly. Just call 855-1HOUR or visit onehourair.com. Don't forget, we're
Always on time or you don't pay it time. Always on time or you don't pay it time.
independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040, the husband and wife law firm where you don't get passed around to a law clerk or some call center overseas. You always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth, and home show season in February is when homeowners make the smartest improvement decision before the demand hits. If windows are in your future, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton offers Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows built for strength, efficiency, and long-term value. And this February, you'll save 25% plus enjoy 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit windowsforyourhome.com or call them at 303-794-0490.
When the Nuggets are knocking down threes, you score too. If Denver hits 15 or more three-pointers, you score a free 28-ounce Gatorade Lower Sugar the very next day at your friendly King Soopers. Gatorade Lower Sugar is scientifically formulated with Gatorade's #1 proven electrolyte blend and has 75% less sugar than Gatorade Thirst Quencher and no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. Big shots deserve next-level hydration. Only at King Soopers.
Colorado families, planning your next getaway just got easier. Explore real RVs, compare bunks, kitchens, storage, and layouts all in one place. The Great American RV Show, March 12th through the 14th at the Colorado Convention Center. Tickets just $12 online at greatamericanrv.show. Family adventures start here.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Denver Sports 104.3 The
Roll call. Maybe you've been busy all morning. We get it. Work, life, kids, meetings, all that good stuff. So I said good stuff, and then I said meetings. That part doesn't belong. But you want to get your shout out on the show? Well, we'd love to give it to you. Tribe Roll Call is all about you. Who are you? Where are you? And what you're doing for a buck out there today? We give you and your company a little shout out. Send that info to the RamosLaw.com text line and, of course, the YouTube page that is Denver Sports YouTube, and then the Dover and Cecil stream. Let us thank you for tuning in and riding with us and being a part of the tribe. We got to talk about what went down last night, Cece. We had a double dip with the Nuggets and the Avalanche, and then the Avalanche on the second half of their back-to-back tonight against Anaheim. The Nugs will do a little back-to-back later this week, Thursday, Friday, coming against L.A., and then I already forgot the Friday.
And the New York Knicks.
And the Knicks. There we go. So easy.
How are you going to forget the Knicks?
But a big one for them later on this week. Start with the Nuggets, because they survived. That's what we've been saying all morning. Against a banged-up Jazz team that really doesn't have any interest in winning basketball games. I will say
they seemed motivated last night, that's for sure.
There's all right, the front office coaches, I'm sure, are involved in tanking. They don't want to win games. They want to get draft picks. But the 8 guys that play, guess what they don't care about? The draft picks. They got to put stuff on tape. So it's this interesting situation. And then, by the way, when you got a guy like George going downhill, making contested jump shots, all right, he's feeling it last night for Utah. So there's a little bit more of that added, screw tonight's loss. We're playing good basketball. Let's finish this job. That's what you got out of Utah. And then you had Denver get a whole bunch of work out of Jamal Murray, who scored 45 points last night, in their victory. 18 of those 45 came in the third quarter, and the Nuggets are now 15-1 when Jamal scores 40 points or more, including postseason games. Second best record ever for a guy that scores 40 more points. Here's a name for old NBA heads. He tied Glenn Rice last night with that win.
Nice.
Klay Thompson has the most. Dude, when Klay Thompson scored 40 or more points, his teams have never won. They're 19-0 in that stretch.
Never lost, yeah.
Never lost, excuse me. But Jamal, second place, tied with one Glenn Rice there. He's the reason they won the basketball game last night.
Man, Glenn Rice could fill it up. So
Yes,
that's
he could. He was a
cool,
stud,
man.
dude. He was a dang
And
stud.
Jamal's the reason why, like, he wouldn't let him lose.
No.
He wouldn't let him lose. Where Timmy a little bit cold last night. My man Julian Strother came through with some plays, but you had some discombobulation, some more turnovers from Joker, which is unfortunate. But it's like Jamal Murray took over. And it's like, no. Not on my watch. That's not going to happen with me out here. And yeah, 40-plus point game, you love to see it because remember the stat, and it's different now because they actually won. But remember when Joker would score 50 and they'd never win?
Yeah.
I think they were 0-4 in 50-point games. It's like, okay, that's nice to know when Jamal goes ham like that because they're going to need him to, honestly. Everyone's waiting for Aaron Gordon to return. Everyone's waiting for Peyton Watson to return, which could be Thursday.
Yep.
Well, Jamal, they needed that last night. So thank you, Jamal Murray, because as that game was going on, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, please don't lose to Utah. It's already bad enough when you lose to Minnesota. I do love, speaking of arm wrestling, and Sylvester Stallone, there was a meme, and it's actually from Rocky. It's Rocky and Apollo when they do like the bro hug thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's Nuggets fans and Timberwolves fans coming together to hate OKC.
Nice.
So you lose to OKC in overtime, that's one thing. You lose to Minnesota, that's another thing. You lose to Utah? We're talking a totally different story. Maybe we are pushing the panic button.
Probably.
Which we're not doing that today, but it's Jamal Murray. It's thanks to him, thanks to his efforts, and those crazy shots. If you were playing horse against Jamal Murray last night, you'd have lost bad because he did that like step away, fade away, three-pointer, goes in. He had another shot where he's taking these wild angles. He was having fun. You know, he was having fun also with a sharp edge of like, we're not losing it. We're not giving up this game. I'm going to put us over the top. And he did.
And look, to his credit, he gets a ton of it. He gets all of it because he was the best player. But you got 13 points out of Jonas, who started opposite of Nikola Jokic. It took a while to get there, and he was dealing with some foul trouble. In fact, a really, really good challenge. Here's a positive from David Adelman. That challenge that takes the sixth foul off of Nikola so he can remain in the game.
Yeah.
And then he ultimately figured out with 22, 12, and 5. Jamal going nuts with 45. By the way, 8 assists for Jamal Starr there as well. Christian Brown even gave you double digits. Your dude Julian gave you double digits on 15. And they needed all of those starters to contribute because the bench was bad. And that's because you're putting bench guys in your starting rotation, but the bench got outscored 47-22 last night.
Yeah.
That can't be what it is moving forward. And when the reinforcements come back, it won't be because you're going to have some legitimate scores there. I think there's a couple of things to take away from this. One, is there this blueprint now being put out on how to stop Nikola Jokic? And I say stop, and he had 22, 12, and 5 last night. Slow him down. Make him human again. And is that a couple of different things from a defense? You and I talked about it probably pre-All-Star break, them filling passing lanes, taking one of Joker's superpowers away, which is facilitating and finding the best basketball shot with the open player. Teams have been around him more and congesting those lanes a little bit more and making offensive players on the Nuggets do something else besides let Nikola set them up, and they failed more often than not. And then that fronting of Nikola with a smaller player.
This is the key.
The video we're all seeing on social media now, it's I believe it is George, who's got, again, hooks under his arms, like an underhook wrestling move, and then lowers those and puts his arm on his hamstring area, basically, and does it on both sides. Was not called. Again, that's a whole other conversation we can have. But when a big dude, a 7-footer, is battling it out with a 6-footer, the referees aren't going to give benefit of the doubt to the big guy.
Right.
Maybe it's not fair, but those are the breaks. That's how the NBA works. Now we have to wonder if everybody else saw the video we saw.
Yeah.
It's going around social right now and go, all right, there's the plan for the Joker.
Yeah, and that was my main concern last night after okay, they got the win. Thank you, Jamal. Then my head went to, they're frustrating Joker defensively. All right, offensively, you're going to get got. He's going to get you 30, right? That's what he's going to do. He's going to go out there, MVP, whatever. But defensively, teams are attacking the rim. They're attacking Joker. They're frustrating Joker. And this is only going to continue because you literally saw the frustration boil over in one of his fouls where guy's just there, kind of leaning on him, goes to put up a shot, and Joker pushes him from the back. That's him being a little whiny Honestly,
He tossed that
that's
guy
what he's
to the
doing.
floor,
Yeah.
too, in the
right.
second half.
Right. And so it's like it's him being frustrated. It's him showing that emotion in a negative way. And once teams feed on that, man, they'll dig on that. They'll start to frustrate you.
You can get in his head.
Exactly. They'll start to be more physical with you. So offensively, Joker's going to work you. He always does. Defensively, he's a liability, and teams are now going to attack him, and they're going to do it in a specific way.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm pretty confident he'll figure something out. And to be honest, you know what figures that out? It's yes, Nikola can do something. Nikola, what he can do to control that, and he's going to need some help because, all right, we're playing basketball, right? It's you, me, Kev, Drew, and we got one, Joey's our fifth. And if they're going to, Joey's a big guy, and they're going to double Joey, I need to yell, double coming, so he knows it's my guy, and then that's where the pass goes. Or what Nikola can do, because he's better at basketball than Joey, the double coming, then you start your action and you're spinning away from where that voice is coming from, right?
Yeah.
Because that means that's where the double is coming from. So Joker's going to play with his back to the basket. That little half spin goes, it's usually baseline because nobody's going to run baseline at you to double. Like you spin baseline and then you have the chance for that little floater elevating, or like I said, you get a full view of where the double team is coming from and then you whip it across the court to where that player is. Said player has to make the shot, but those are the options what the Joker can do.
Yeah, I wonder if every time he sees a chest pass, Jarrett Stidham sits up in his chair like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Smoking a cig.
Right there, chest pass, right there. Go baseline, then chest pass out in the corner. He's going to shoot the three. Right there, chest pass. And that's what this team is going to have to get good at or better at because I want to see, and it's going to take certain matchups, but I want to see how teams start playing Joker and making him work more on the defensive side, hoping that he exhausts himself, gets frustrated, gets into foul trouble.
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly what happened last night. Because he was, I don't even want to say frustrated, like he was pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
About how he was being guarded with no whistle. And I saw it a couple of times. This is maybe where we can have the David Adelman versus Michael Malone conversation. Adelman, I feel like he's trying to get a tech and then never does. Specifically on the Joker, it is that second half where he's like tossing the dude to the ground because of what was happening prior to
He's
that
frustrated,
moment.
yeah.
And Joker, who's been trying to bite his tongue with the referees, looks over, DA's having the conversation. I just think there's a word you can use that's going to get you teed up.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why David doesn't just go to that to send the message to his guys like, no, I go to bat for you. You don't have to be frustrated or let this get into your head because I'll pay the $5,000 fine for the tech that I just got.
And is that Joker looking over at DA being like, you
going to do it?
You gonna do something? You got me? You got me on this?
That's exactly what he's doing.
And so it's DA already the nice guy being maybe a little bit too nice to the refs. Cuss him out, man.
It's one word. If you say the F word, they're going to tee up. And you say it in their direction at them, that's a technical foul. Just do it.
Yeah, I think David Adelman might be a little bit too nice to do that, although this game is going to bring that emotion out of you. And this team needs everything right now. I'm not saying they're hanging on by a thread, but they're definitely waiting for Watson and Gordon to get back. Hopefully Thursday that's the case. You got 20 games. You can ramp it up, and you can get there in the postseason, whatever your seeding is. But the fact that we're now back to the conversation of just avoid the play-in makes me sad and a little bit sick to my stomach because that game kind of emphasized how this team is discombobulated. It's a win, but it wasn't a win. It's a win where you need a Joker at the end. It's a win when you needed four corners. They started doing that's so frustrating. Anytime a team plays four corners against you, you're like, oh.
And I thought Bruce was going to finish it with a layup. That's what Jamal thought, too. And he kicks it back out.
He kicks it out, and big fella goes up to the free throw line.
How about the side quest? I saw Sam Quinn, who covers the NBA for CBS Sports. He's actually a good basketball mind, does good stuff. He said it's an NBA side quest that if you're a night in, night out NBA guy like I am, you know that Nikola is on this quest to get the referees to give him the take foul or the shooting. Because did you see him last night?
Yeah.
He held that thing like he was freaking Billy Hoyle in White Man Can't Jump There. Like, what are you doing, Joker? You're not going to get that foul. But I do appreciate the side quest.
Yeah, it was a try, right?
Yeah.
It was a try. He tried to get it and at least got those free throws there at the end. Which is still, I'm not mad at Jamal when he misses those free throws. I'm just like, okay, dude, come on. Finish this thing a little bit differently. Jamal didn't need the free throws. He just needed 40-plus last night.
Yeah, Jamal Murray has been zero problem this entire year. they're in the position that they're in, hanging on to the 5 seed right now, because of guys like Jamal Murray.
So
not
can
in
I
spite
take?
of.
And I'm not saying you said this because you didn't, but you were kind of alluding to it. So I want to pin you down on something because earlier you talked about like I thought Jamal would be the guy to kind of fire up this team, that alpha. Okay. It's almost like, remember when we'd have the Von Miller leader conversation? Von Miller's not a leader.
No, he's not.
Okay? He doesn't lead. That's not his game. It never was. It never will be.
Leads his entourage to Indianapolis to beg for a job. That's what he leads.
I knew you'd have something there. But it's like, all right, Jamal's doing plenty, man. I'm not saying Jamal's doing everything because there is that one thing you could throw back at me like, well, he's not doing that. But it's like, dude, somebody, and I think it's DA, although I don't know how it can be DA. That's the problem. I agree with you that somebody needs to kind of take the reins, take the bull by the horns, grab something, and start telling these guys, like, you're better than this. Come on, especially when Cam Johnson, his ankle's right. Like, somebody needs to get in these players' kitchen, and you're like, well, it's not. I thought it'd be Jamal, and you seemed a bit dejected when you said it. So I'm like, I hope you're not blaming Jamal because
not at all.
The way that he reshaped this game, I'm taking anything Jamal star this year. The 45 last night, I'm taking all that. I see all that as positives. You see it as positives as well. I just don't know if and now he's got to do that as well. Somebody's got to realize what Jamal Murray realized this offseason of like, that's Joker's legacy. And I'm going to be the reason why he gets more rings, or I'm going to be the reason why he doesn't get any more rings.
And the reason I said Jamal when we had that original conversation is exactly what you just laid out. This is a guy that, and it's not my take. Yes, I was probably the loudest with it a year ago, but I know for a fact that people down there felt the same way. Hey, there's another level to this guy. There's more. Have we seen the best of? Your question. Hell no. Now look at what we're seeing out of Jamal Murray. And guess what? I still don't know if it's the best of. That's how good this dude is. But my point was, if we're a team, right, at work or your rec league game, whatever you do, and somebody was being an anchor and holding the team down in the wrong way, weighing them down. And then that guy, that gal, whomever it may be, turns it all around, and now they're no longer an anchor. They're, in fact, the bright spot on the team most nights. And if not then the second best bright spot, because you have a pretty big one in Nikola. In my mind, I just thought, who's better on this team? Because it's never going to be Joker. I know everybody wants it to be the best player, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be Nikola. He could look at every man in that room in their eyes, and even coaches, and go, hey, remember how much I didn't bring it the last 2 years after our championship? And now I've realized what's on my plate for Nikola, for this franchise, for my legacy, for Jamal get another couple championships. You're talking about an NBA Hall of Famer now. Maybe probably one more, but that's what's on the line. So I didn't think there was anybody better that can go, I'm doing this. I'm kind of being a Richard because I'm calling myself out at the same time.
Yeah.
I learned the mistake. I don't want it to take you 2 years to figure it out, Cam.
We don't have
guess
2
what?
years.
You're out if that's not. And we don't have 2 years to figure it out. So I just said Jamal because I think he's best suited to do it, and his voice will carry a lot of weight.
Okay, so if Jamal doesn't do it,
free agency. It's next summer's deal because there's nobody on the roster that's going to do it.
Wow.
And I like the idea of Aaron Gordon, but again, I just don't think that's kind of who he is. I go back to the Payton Watson
everybody'd listen to him if he did.
They would. They would.
AG is kind of, man, if he could come back, because I think we need to look at AG as gravy of like anything he does from here on out is just, and I'm talking about like the rest of his career. He's just at that point where his body seems to be breaking down too much and too often. So it's like if he can get you something, that's great. But I think it's some of that leadership behind the scenes that he could show. And if you're not listening to Aaron Gordon, I know him and Payton Watson have had their issues in the past. A younger Payton Watson.
Which has been resolved.
A less mature Payton Watson that has been resolved. I mean, everybody would listen to AG. So if you're David Adelman, do you almost request that? Like, hey, AG, I know it's not really you, but I kind of need you to ruffle these guys up a little bit.
Look, at this point, I'd love to know what David Adelman is doing. Just to fix what's
Wait a second,
going
did you
on.
go Office Space on me? Like, what would you say you do here?
No, just like, okay, I know he does stuff.
Yeah.
What are your adjustments? What are your plans when things aren't going right? Because I haven't really seen that yet out of DA. And that, you know what else I would question? Did David Adelman have any kind of conversation or direction is probably the better term for Jared Dudley? Jared Dudley came in here and he's, okay, you're our defensive coach. This part needs a lot of work. Here's what I would have done. Handle the situation. All right, the Nuggets give me the head coaching job. I'm David Adelman. I'm over the moon. I have a 500 playoff record, and I just got handed the best player in the world. I go, all right, I'm bringing in Jared Dudley. He's this defensive specialist. Then I'm sitting down with Jared, and I'm going to go, hey, it should probably be me because I'm the head coach, but I have a history here. I'm not Mr. Mean Guy. I'm not getting a player's face and you mother bleeper and you did this. That's not me. And if I turn into that, they're going to laugh me out of the room.
Everyone knows that it's phony.
So guess what, Jared? It's you. Sorry, them's the breaks. You want the gig or not? You want to come here and coach defense? You're going to be the mean guy in the room, and you're going to call the guys out. And I'm going to give you the grace when they're not playing the defense to be a real rude coach.
Real Richard.
Call people out in film study by name with the film right next to it to prove your point.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he did that with anybody on this coaching
Well-
staff. It feels like this coaching staff is just cool with everybody.
Right.
And that's a fun workplace environment.
Sure.
But when when the going gets tough, who's going to be the one that says the uncomfortable things that need to be said?
I find myself missing Michael Malone more than I ever thought I would. And I never thought.
But it doesn't have to be the coach.
Knowing that it was refreshing to get him out of here. It was refreshing to get that done, and mainly to get Calvin Booth out of here because he just makes it look too easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you want difficulties in life because Calvin Booth just makes everything so easy. You can't all be nice guys. This isn't kumbaya.
Hell no.
This isn't rainbows and lollipops and butterflies and unicorns. This is the NBA. And it's tough to win a championship in all sports. It's tough to win it in the NBA. And look at the evidence we have. You have the best player on the planet, and he's got one ring, and it doesn't look like they're getting another one this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks. I hate to say that on March 3rd, but they got to turn this thing around, man. And getting AG back, Peyton Watson back, that'll help my feelings in terms of getting to OKC.
It's going to help.
That's the thing. Western Conference Final. Get to OKC and then make your run. And that will be must-see TV.
I mean, to your point about having these uncomfortable conversations, if you want to be good at what you do in life, they want to be good at basketball. You have to have uncomfortable conversations to be the best at what you're doing. You want to have a healthy relationship with your lady or your fella, you're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about what you expect and what's going on. You want to raise a good little human being, probably going to have some uncomfortable conversations with little Johnny or little Susie at some point in their conversation. We want to be the best radio station. I promise you, we've had some uncomfortable conversations about stuff that goes on around here or inside this room when we're in it. That's just the lay of land. The people that you're around the most and have the biggest goals with, if you think it's going to be gravy 100% of the time, I don't want you around. Get out of my foxhole. That's not how it works.
Well, was there an error this offseason in adding the talent then? And yeah, I'm talking about Cam Johnson. I'm not saying it was a bad trade, but dude, you gotta pay off a lot more than what you've done. Because with this team and setting Joker up for another championship run, you're falling short, and you need that standard. There's a standard here.
No doubt.
And there's a standard with Nikola Jokic that I feel not everybody seems to be dialed in with. AG is. Peyton Watson certainly is. My man Julian Strawther, when he's healthy, he is. I think Valanciunas is. Jamal Murray certainly is. Joker certainly is himself. Christian is.
Mm-hmm.
He just, even last night, dude, he had an open three, and he hesitate, dribble drives, takes the two. What are you doing, man?
Well, see, that's what I mean, though.
What are you doing?
When Peyton and Aaron are back, it's okay for him to be hesitant like that. You don't. It's a luxury. It's like icing on the cake if a dude like Christian's hitting threes, but it's not.
But when you
as
don't
it is
have
now,
those
it's
two,
a requirement.
Christian, you have a wide open three. What are you doing, man? You're great. You're a great player. You're a fan favorite. He's one of my favorite players in the league, and I hate when he gets the ball and he doesn't shoot. Look at Julian Strawther, and again, it's my guy. I'm totally biased. He gets that shot off like that.
Oh, yeah, he ain't passing.
he's not passing at all. And kind of like Jamal, he had a couple of those who were like, get it, shoot.
Yeah.
It's like hot potato with Strawther. I'm not saying Christian has to go hot potato, but that hesitation, it drives me up a wall, especially without AG and Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are back. Yeah, it is a luxury, and he can hesitate and then maybe dribble and take a long two. But if you get a wide open three, Christian, take it.
Well, those little things, it's about stretching the floor. It's really what that's about. If you aren't confident and aren't going to take the shot and I'm defending you, I'm giving your ass 8 feet because I need to double Nikola Jokic when he has the basketball.
Exactly.
So it's about stretching, and it hurts
and
everybody.
How are we talking about teams playing them differently? I'm not saying Utah gave him the blueprint. That wasn't Utah's blueprint, but it's a blueprint that everyone's going to use now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just frustrate Joker? attack him.
Yeah.
So defensively, he has to do something. And this goes beyond more than putting a lean on him with a big man. This is attacking him with a smaller player and frustrating him and getting him in foul trouble.
If you missed it, the Nuggets did add a player yesterday. Shams Charania had it of ESPN. Tyus Jones, little guard, was added on Monday afternoon. Again, they were interested in Tyus, I think it was a couple years ago, and I believe he picked Phoenix over Denver a couple of years ago, and now on the buyout market. I look at him as a decent little backup point guard. He could be trusted, I guess, with the ball in his hands and to kind of facilitate and run an offense, maybe more than they're trusting a guy like Jalen Pickett. Actually, kind of like Jalen Pickett's jumper a little bit more. He's developed that. But Tyus Jones, just a more reliable backup ball handler option. And not that long ago, 21, 22, and then the 22-23 season, he actually got some votes for Sixth Man of the Year because his role was elevated a little bit more than it will be here. He's all right, we might need this guy in the next 20 games of the regular season, and if things are going right, you probably won't see much of Tyus Jones in the postseason, and that's just fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's what it's for. But during the meantime, you get a veteran out there, you get some leadership. I like the move.
Yeah, I do too.
And not because he played for Duke, Kev. I know you're looking at me.
Kevin sent us
He's
that
just
last
waiting.
night.
He's just waiting.
Duke guy.
Duke guy. Hey, God.
It kind of made me mad when he picked Phoenix over Denver.
My least favorite teams in all of sports. Nebraska Cornhuskers, the Bug Eaters, they're number one. I'll always hate them forever for what they said about Sal. And I know that some of their fans have apologized, but you're going to make fun of a quarterback that died from cancer. I hate you forever, Nebraska.
No doubt.
Hate you forever. Number two, Duke Blue Devils. Right behind that.
I like
right
that they're
behind
both
that.
colleges.
I
Nice.
hate the Duke Blue Devils.
Why do you hate Duke, though?
Why do I hate Duke?
Yes.
Let me count the
Let's
ways.
start at Christian Leitner. Then we could go to Mike. Well, we'll start at Mike Krzyzewski. Then we'll go to Christian Leitner. I could keep going with player after player. Boozer. Now the whole Boozer family.
Full disclosure, it's probably the entitlement. Rich, entitled, Duke players. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I'm a UNLV fan from back in the day. When UNLV
That's the exact
beat them,
opposite of Duke.
Beat them by 40. Yeah, exact opposite of Duke. And then the next year lose by 2. And that's why both Stacey Augmon and Larry Johnson wore the number 2 in the NBA because they felt they needed 2 for Jerry Tarkanian.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why they wore 2. Because LJ wore 4 in college.
Yeah.
Stacey wore, what did he wear in college? 22 or something like that?
I don't remember. What was it? The Rubber Band Man or something? They call him something like that?
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man. Kev, I will tell you, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I used to wear a lot of Duke hats, and I'd always be like, no, that stands for Dover. The D on there.
Oh,
that's what I tell everybody.
Okay. It's okay. I know you like JJ Redick, so.
I kind of do. I hate that he's coaching the Lakers, but I kind of do. All right, we didn't get into an Avs conversation, so let's do this. Let's get to Bo's board at 12:45 and talk a little Avalanche and their struggles last night, but taking home the 2 points. We'll talk about how it went down and our confidence in the studs and stars starting to show up. That's coming at you next.
Head to Facebook.com/DenverSports1043 The Fan to watch Orange and Blue Today, The Rundown, and Denver Sports Daily on demand. Take your favorite shows with you anytime, anywhere. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. But dogs definitely will, and it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree, and that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Free barbecue? Yep, absolutely free barbecue. Hey, everybody, Dan Jacobs, the barbecue lawyer at 303 Law 4040. It's 2026, and we are taking our free meal program to the next level, and I want you to help spread the word with me if you can. I got a brand new smoker, and this thing's a beast. It's over 6 feet tall, so we can cook that 1,000 pounds of free barbecue each and every month. Here's what you do. It's Eastern Hills Community Church, 4 to 6 p.m. every first and third Thursday. I'm smoking up delicious pulled pork or my addictive copycat Chipotle recipe, and we're serving it up for free. You just get in line, you pop the trunk, we put free groceries in your trunk, and then we ask you how many meals you need for the night. It's that simple, no questions asked. It's at Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road every first and third Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Help us spread the word, and if you have any questions, you can always call me. The barbecue lawyer's number is 303 Law 4040.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. For over a decade, Bluebird Windows and Doors has been servicing the Front Range with products built to withstand Colorado's unpredictable weather. Bluebird's Sunrise Collection windows are built to last a lifetime and are backed by strong warranties. Buy one window and get one 50% off through March 31st. And mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans. You'll save an additional 5%. Enjoy the outdoors through energy-efficient Bluebird windows. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Score big, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use, so the weather never takes you by surprise. Download the free WeatherBug app today.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Victory last night for the Colorado Avalanche. Didn't feel great, but they did take the 2 points with a 4-2 victory. Did get a empty netter, a power play empty netter. It's going to count on the stat sheet, and they'll take all the help they can get when it comes to their stats on the power play. It was Marty Netchis in his 26th goal on the empty netter last night. Game winner coming off the stick of Devon Tays. The Taser charges at the net, and Nathan McKinnon found him for his 58th assist of the year. And that's after Nate's 41st goal of the year. He started the party in the first period in about 5 minutes, and it was 1-0. Gabe added 1, 2-0. But then the Kings, on a power play, got their first. Angus Booth, I just want to know a guy named Angus, scored in the second to bring it even, and then it became like, I felt like a little sweated out until that third period, when they ultimately pulled away in the final 5 minutes. So, Cease, I look at this as, all right, did it look the way I wanted it to look last night? No. Did it look the way I wanted it to look even the other night against Chicago? No. But We're talking about 4 points in the last 2 games, and it can't get any better than that with these little signs of, hey, I'm watching Gabe do a little bit more. I'm watching Nathan do a little bit more, and kind of chill the heck out en route to doing it. And now let's figure out what's going to happen with a dude like Arturi Lehkonen, Marty getting involved more, Kale with a couple in that game against Chicago, mentioned the taser goal last night. The guys that need to do the heavy lifting to get this thing back on track, they're starting to do some of the lifting.
Yeah, they were starting to do some of the lifting, and for the first time since the Olympic break, and of course he missed the first game, Nathan MacKinnon looked like Nathan MacKinnon.
Yeah.
So I think we can have some confidence in that. Of course, you have confidence in Nate always, but things were a little bit off. Maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's Olympic legs, whatever you want to call it. But Nathan MacKinnon on point, on the money last night, and helping to lead the way, which was nice. Because with injuries, your depth is tested. This Lehkonen injury is very concerning, especially before the trade deadline, as we wait for this team to add Nazem Kadri. Please add Nazem Kadri. But it was nice that your stars, Marty Netchus, Gabe Landeskog, Nathan MacKinnon, they showed up in a big way.
Drew asked us this earlier, and we hadn't brought it to the air yet. I know a lot of Avs fans are going to feel the same way I feel, because this was the conversation just a few years ago when it was, hey, who do we pay? Valeri Nichushkin or Nazem Kadri? And we know what they picked because Val's on the squad and Naz is up there in Calgary waiting for old Chrissy to go get him before Friday at 2 o'clock. If it were a straight-up trade, man, you probably still need Calgary to eat a couple million of that dollars because Val took a little bit less than what Calgary ended up paying to Naz. But who wouldn't be okay with Val's gone, Naz is back? And then we go, hey, you guys did what you should have done 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's something that you kind of learned the lesson. The problem with trading Nichushkin is his history and his past.
He's one bad decision away from not being an NHL player.
Exactly. And any sort of change could, cause a slide. Hopefully it doesn't. We want Val, whether he's here or not, just stay clean, dude.
Yeah.
Like, addiction is a blankety blanker. It's a mother you-know-what. And to keep him clean, that's the thing. But
can I say something kind of insensitive?
Of course. Get as offended as you like.
Is that for me to worry about? Is that for you to worry about? Is that for Chris McFarland to
I
worry
just
about?
say as a human, I don't want
I get
a
it.
human
That's why I said it's going to be
battling
insensitive. I know.
Yeah. So I think it's something all of us should be concerned with.
Okay.
Of like, hey, Val, whether you're here or not, just stay clean, dude.
Okay.
But the problem with that is if I'm another executive, I'm thinking exactly what you said. Like, why do I want to deal with that? Why do I, we don't have any guys that are addiction specialists or whatever that they have within the building. Maybe they do.
I mean, this is all kind of new for the NHL anyway.
Right. And you're going to need to have that in place if you trade for Nichushkin. So it's going to lower his value. His past is not going away. It's not just poof, vanished because he's been clean for a year plus. And we're happy that he's that way. We want him to stay that way. But that also is going to impact any sort of trade value that he has, because if I'm a team, you're giving me a guy that's one party away from not playing in the NHL ever again? Yeah, no thanks. So, I don't think it's as simple as just go Nas for Val straight up. No, there's got to be some concessions made because of his past still being his past.
Yeah, maybe that feels like me trying, like wishful thinking of like, hey, we have this thing that we're
Sure,
worried about.
right.
That guy's what I think is a sure thing, at least for your left-handed stick on the power play. Make it good for me and trade those guys. Probably is a little more unrealistic than just straight up Val Nas, let's redo this dance.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say something insensitive, and I'm just guessing, but there's probably executives out there that see Val Nichushkin as a ticking time bomb, and they don't want that, or they would not want that. And
That's a really good point.
That, it's unfortunate that someone would think of him that way, especially when a guy's trying to stay clean. But the bottom line is that reputation precedes him. And executives out there are going to be thinking about that if he is brought up in trade conversations. I think as fans, we'd all say, Val for Nas? Well, yeah, where do I sign up?
That quick, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think in the really real world, T-Bird, that's something that's going to exist in reality.
Come on, dude! I turn the salary cap. I could turn it off. I do whatever I want. That's what we all do in Madden, right?
Yeah, it's not 2K. It's not 2K.
Yeah, that's right. Not a little chill.
Best NHL game was NHL 94 because you could still make them bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think 95 they still had fighting, but the players didn't bleed on the ice.
Well, and it's just Sega. Something about a Sega Genesis in your house is just
Something about those pixels.
Yeah.
Ah.
The controller, like it was the first bigger type of controller, and you're like, there's more buttons here.
I have 3 buttons
Yeah,
now.
what am I going to do? Those are good old days.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, my God, there's a new button? I'm not doing anything for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to figure out how to use this controller. Those are the good old days,
Yeah,
man.
I didn't go to class in college, but I learned how to beat the first level in Sonic in under 30 seconds.
Right. Oh, man. Sonic and Tails. What was the thing where you have to roll and collect all the coins? And it was like the checkered flag. You know
And
what
on
I
the
mean?
ball, you're on the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What great times it was. I had no mortgage. I had no responsibilities. I didn't have to go to work.
You had skateboards.
I had a skateboard.
You still had fun stuff.
Had a basketball hoop. We played a game called Tackle the Guy with the Ball, called it something else outside, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Man, what a great time that was. Get back to that someday. I want to check in with Gabe for one quick note here. We talked about guys kind of getting back to form, playing their roles. Army crawling back to being the guys that carry this team. Gabe talked about getting his game back last night.
I also think there's a long way to go, so I got some stuff to work on, and it's a work in progress, as it always is. Nobody's a finished product ever, so continue to work, and it felt pretty good since we got back to it, and we got a lot of games to go here, so make sure we rest up tonight and back at it tomorrow.
See, I like that coming from the captain. That's again, calm, cool, collected. Hey, I'm not where I want to be yet, and I'd imagine now this is like what I'm looking for on the Nuggets. That's Gabe telling us, but also a message to his players. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm going to work relentlessly to get there, and that expectation is the same for everybody in this locker room, even including a number 29 in Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, so expectations are there. The leader, Gabe Landeskog, is there. And no, Mike Evans, he has not been a huge disappointment this year. Still can't believe Evans said that. Don't say that.
I got to ask Evans, like, what he expected 80 points out of Gabe this year? What was you expecting from the guy?
I think he just gets frustrated with Stinkin' Stoke because he so wants to talk. How many times does he come back in during
Talk some
our
hockey
show
with us?
so he can talk some hockey with us? I think Stinkin' Stoke frustrated him today, and he said something like that. Like, you don't say that. Don't say that, Mike.
Just make fun of Stinkin' Stoke instead of saying stuff like that. There's plenty to make fun of those guys about. Just hammer them. All right, so Avs fans feeling a little better about what it's looked like the last 2 games. 4 points, so they've done what they're supposed to do. Just didn't necessarily get the style points maybe some of us, my hands raised, were looking for. All right, we had to push Bo's board back so we could give the Avs a little bit of room after a game day. So let's get to Bo's board. This week is all about trades. What trades can George Payton make to go help Bo Nix? Well, we got a wide receiver for him. Will you like it? That's coming up next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really? Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from ConsumerAffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today!" Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words "switch today" in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James. in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Thanks to Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issue before you even notice them. It's like super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices will be working with perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though your kids grow up and you still don't understand 6-7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi, all with Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040, the husband and wife law firm where you don't get passed around to a law clerk or some call center overseas. You always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Colorado. Love horsepower and serious adventure? The Great American RV Show hits the Colorado Convention Center March 12th through the 14th. Rugged RVs, overland builds, solar, suspension, off-grid tech, 150 brands, 10 major dealers. Tickets $12 online at greatamericanrv.show, where serious gear meets real adventure.
SodaWeightLoss.com is state-of-the-art, and SodaWeightLoss.com helped me lose 60 pounds a few years ago, and I've never gained the weight back. Why? I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. I had a real nutritionist there to help me along the way through my journey. I joined Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. You want to lose that weight? 1-866-800-SODA, online at SodaWeightLoss.com. They are there for you like they were there for me. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is state-of-the-art.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 1043 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, we've got a new name to add to Bo's board, but we also have a new name to call out for our Superfan Send-Off contest. Our new name is Jason. Bunch of Jasons puckering up right now. Swan. Jason Swan. Stop looking at me, Swan. You could be heading to Las Vegas. How many times does he get that and probably hates that? I'm sorry, Jason. You could be heading to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world, thanks to 303 Law 4040. All Jason Swan has to do is call us back here in the studio in the next 10 minutes. And if you do that, Jason, well, you're going to get into the drawing for the grand prize of the Superfan Send-Off. That is a pair of 2-night tickets to this major event in Las Vegas. Round-trip airfare for you and your guests from Denver to Vegas. 2 nights hotel stay. And how about a little walking around money for you, Jason? $500 in the form of a Visa gift card. That could all be yours, Jason Swan, if you call us back in the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043. If you know Mr. Swan, well, he might be obligated to bring you as your +1 if you tell him he's on the clock. If you haven't already signed up, do it now. DenverSports.com/Superfan. And then just listen. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we are calling new names every single hour. Jason Swan. Let's go, man. We want to get you in the contest. All right, now the name for Bo's board. As we're adding a new name every day to this board, just an idea. A name that maybe George and Sean Payton are kicking the tires on, and this week is all about trades. We know they need some help at wide receiver while these young guys develop. Could this gentleman help immediately?
Jones looking deep down the field, and it is caught by Pittman with a flag down, but what a grab by Pittman!
Jones Pittman set to throw. He can run it. He can throw it. And diving in the end zone. Touchdown Colts. Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman, the wide receiver from Indianapolis, is today's name for Bo's board. He does have 1 year left on his contract. It's a pretty healthy number there.
Oh, yeah.
But if it were a trade, I would imagine it's with the idea in mind, hey, we're going to give you a new deal. We're going to restructure some of that. We're going to stretch that money out.
Yes.
So it's not a huge cap number and payment because they have a few other holes to fill. So, Cease, I'll ask you, man, what are we talking about for cost for this guy, and what would his role be here in Denver?
Yeah, what his role would be is a big slot. What his role would be, do you like Michael Thomas?
I did like him.
Do you like Marcus Colston?
Except for in the Super Bowl, I hated him.
Yeah, right. That's the type of player that you could see Michael Pittman as. The Colts only use him as a slot about 30% of the time. And with those slot numbers, you look at his run after the catch ability. And I've got the advanced data that tells you after contact, it's not just after catch, it's after contact.
Wow.
Like a running back. So his average depth of target is about 8 yards, which is pretty shallow. He's an outside receiver for 70% of the time. That shouldn't be 8 yards.
That's pretty short.
With
there.
only 30% being, but it's after the contact, after the catch, where Pittman can stand out. So I know people are going to look at the numbers. That's fair, right? What did the guy do? What does he look like? What's it been? I'm looking at where they line him up. And I'd say one of the most egregious errors the Colts have had is not trying him as a big slot. Now, different offenses, different systems, different, kind of setup for your receivers.
Right, he's had to learn multiple things in a few years.
Right, but this is not the Mike Evans from Tampa Bay when he says, yeah, I'd love to play in Denver. What are they going to do with Court? This isn't replacing Cortland Sutton. This is essentially putting in a player that you expect Pat Bryant to be one day, but I'm telling you, Pat Bryant's probably 2 years from that.
Okay.
Not this year, and maybe he takes a jump, and I'm fully, I'm open to that because I love Pat Bryant, but wide receivers take 3 years. This is not Troy Franklin, because Troy Franklin can't do that. This is not Marvin Mims, because Marvin, as much as I love Marvin, and I think it's firmly established, there's Marvin Mims Sr., and then there's me. Those are the two biggest Marvin Mims fans in the world.
He was at the Nuggets game the other night, and our boy Kyle Berry got a chance to talk to him and hang out with him a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, of course, KV. That's our dude right there. So I look at this, and I go, okay, Sutton's fine, and your big slot future is Pat Bryant. But right now, instead of waiting on Pat Bryant, I'm saying you can make a trade. Let's just say fourth rounder. He's not going to make $24 million or whatever his number is. He's
22.
got 22. He's got $5 million in dead money. You're going to rework that deal. You're not making 22. You're making 18, and here's a bunch of guaranteed money. You rework this contract. You get him on board, and you let Sutton be Sutton. You make him a big slot, where he's got the run after contact numbers that you want from that position, because that's what it's about. You're not going to go to that position without having a guy. Sutton's great to catch it and get out of bounds, or catch it and fall down, catch it at the sticks.
Yeah.
Like Sutton does that, catch it in the back of the end zone, 2 feet down, touchdown Broncos. That's what Sutton's great at. This still lets him be Sutton while also not relying on Bryant to, one, stay healthy, 2 concussions in a month are a concern.
It's dangerous,
and
honestly.
also to develop faster than maybe he does. I am very willing to give Pat Bryant 3 years, because every receiver should get 3 years. I kind of want an answer now, and I think you could do both with Pittman.
What if, and this would probably make the trade no. I mean, I don't know how much power Michael Pittman has there in Indianapolis, but I'm just thinking out loud here. And I know every player is like, oh, I can't be a sitting duck, right? I don't want to just play on the last year of my contract. Tough break. Most of the world does that. It's how we operate day to day. Because here's my worry. I'm not the biggest fan of Michael Pittman coming to Denver, just to be transparent. But I don't hate the idea of adding a playmaker, and then you use the comp of Michael Thomas. You really get me going of like, oh, well, I know what that looked like in this offense, and man, that would be great to see here in the Mile High City. But then that Pat Bryant thing is just popping up on my shoulder of like, I don't want to put Pat in the corner, right? I don't want him to just be sitting over there waiting for his turn. Is it unrealistic for me to go, hey, all right, I'll entertain Michael Pittman, just go trade for him, eat the money that's on it now, and if he earns another contract because Pat hasn't shown development, then we cross that bridge this time next year? Or is that Michael Pittman and his agent going, yeah, get the hell out of here?
Yeah, we don't want that. Okay. We don't want to make that move.
I'm basically being super selfish for the Broncos.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Where can you do both? Can you develop Pat Bryant and add Michael Pittman and just have him start? And by the way, if Pat Bryant beats him, so be it. I am all about competition. I am not all about waiting around. Are you in a Super Bowl window now or like in a year or two? Are you in a Super Bowl window right now? Is that we're firmly established?
Yes. Yeah.
Then I think this team has made too many errors in terms of the future. And you have to do both. You have to. But the fact that you take Jahdae Barron at 20 and not an impact running back at 20 like Travion Henderson, like a Marion Hampton, the fact that you do that when you're in a Super Bowl window a year ago. Now, they felt that. Why did you make that move like that? You're in a Super Bowl window now. Pat Bryant can be great. I'll do the Jahdae Barron thing. Jahdae Barron could be an all-pro in 2 years. He played 5 snaps in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, okay.
That's a problem.
Pat Bryant could be a Pro Bowler in 2 years. Michael Pittman could do that now. So for me, I kind of want to keep the development, but I also want the certainty of having a veteran receiver who has a full yard extra after the catch as a slot receiver than he does as a boundary receiver. Again, I think the Colts have mistakenly used him the wrong way, especially when they had Alec Pierce. And this conversation comes up because they're likely to keep Alec Pierce and they want to keep Daniel Jones. The deadline for a franchise tag is in an hour.
Yeah.
So they have not yet done anything, Kev. I don't think anything's popped with the Colts yet, right? Because they're waiting on, are they going to franchise tag Daniel Jones? Are they going to franchise tag Alec Pierce? Either way, they're going to spend a bunch of money on those two players. You know what would help them? Getting rid of some of that money off the cap and moving a guy like Michael Pittman. That's where the Broncos could step in.
Okay.
Here.
All right, look, like I said, it's an entertaining conversation. We're just throwing some stuff out, see if it's going to fit with Denver.
It's a thought experiment.
I'm hesitant to say yes, I'm all in on a Michael Pittman because I want so much development. But then at the same time, there's the other guy on my shoulder going, hey, I want them to go chase Super Bowls right now. And if that means Pat Bryant's not as big as a contributor as maybe I specifically want him to be until this, Pittman experiment's over and they win a Super Bowl, well, then so be it. But I'm hesitant on Michael Pittman, what that's going to look like. So, tribe members, you tell us, yay, nay, on Michael Pittman. Probably can't get greedy the way I want to, where you just get him for a year and then let the young guys roll. You probably have to restructure that and give him some guaranteed money on the contracts. Yay or nay on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. Same deal on our YouTube page. Just get to youtube.com/DenverSports. While you're there, might as well click that subscribe button for us and click the Dover and Cecil stream. You're in just like that. We will catch up with you guys on the text line and the YouTube chat on yay or nay on Michael Pittman and then get back to a conversation about the Denver Nuggets. Payton and Aaron Gordon are on their way back. It could be as soon as Thursday. Will that solve all the problems? We'll tell you coming up next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975. When our grandfather started Williams Jewelers in 1947 as a humble little neighborhood jewelry shop, he could not have imagined how big his dreams would grow. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Shayna Williams. Today, thanks to you, Williams Jewelers is not only one of America's largest fine jewelers,
We're Colorado's premier jeweler with more of the world's top designers than any other store, including Roberto Coin, Marco Biccigo, Kwiat, Hearts on Fire, Mikimoto, and dozens more.
An entire diamond and bridal department with the latest engagement ring styles and wedding bands from Tacori, A. Jaffe, and Gabriel & Company.
Add to that our legendary Swiss watch collections and service center, and you have the only jeweler you'll ever need.
With over 30 jewelry professionals, master goldsmiths, and watchmakers to serve you at Williams Jewelers, you'll still always be treated just like our grandfather would.
Like family.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
The official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
You know what it takes to win: the preparation, the game plan, the refusal to quit when things get hard. You bring that same mentality to your business every single day. But even the best teams need fans in the seats. At Denver Sports, we put your business in front of Denver's most passionate, loyal audience, on air, online, and on the big screen. You've got the drive, we've got the reach. Visit us online at DenverSports.com. Let's build your roster.
Hey, Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Does the air in your home feel like the desert? You don't have to suffer any longer. Get a brand new humidifier for the lowest price of the season. Everyone should breathe easy and healthy in their home. What are you waiting for? Call Rocks Heating and Air for a free, no obligation estimate. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Denver Sports 1043 The Fan presents
I saw Kevin talking to him, our buddy Jason Swan. He called. His name's going to go in the running for that grand prize. So awesome. We always tell people we want someone from the tribe to win all contests. So let's go. Jason, you're in. You're now the leader in the clubhouse for it. We're going to change gears a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about the Denver Nuggets. I am seeing some of the takes from our Michael Pittman conversation. Josh in Florida doesn't think he is the ultimate difference maker that this team needs. So he goes hard pass on it. Tell us, yay or nay. Like I said, do you or do you not want Michael Pittman? It's just an idea because it's trade week here on Dover and Cecil. We'll catch up with you guys on the text line. In the meantime, let's talk about the Nuggets and what mode we're in with the Denver Nuggets. Are we in panic mode? Are we hovering over that panic button? Did anybody hit it last night when they were struggling against the Utah Jazz team that has 18 wins on the season? I guess, how do you look at it, Cease? Are you stoked that they won a clutch game, or are you pissed because they were in a clutch game with the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, I'm a bit upset that it took a monster performance from Jamal Murray to get this team over the top against the Jazz. This is such a different feeling than the Kings. Kings had, coaching change, players making their debuts. You expected a bit of a punch. Not that I expected Utah to completely roll over, but I was thinking, nice 20-point win, something like that. Like, make a statement. You're clearly the superior team, and it went down to the wire. Much more uncomfortable finish for the Nuggets than I was anticipating.
The spread was 12, and I know you don't do the investments, but I did. And I was like, I'm going to go with the Jazz covering that because it's just so Nuggets to make this thing a little bit closer. And still didn't hit the investment because Timmy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn last night. But that's my problem. When the Nuggets get right, which could come as soon as Thursday, again, we're going to use David Adelman's words because that's all we can go on right now. He said last week he wants to get the guys right and healthy with 20 games left to go so that they can figure out roles and get back into who's going to be the starting group, who's the first man off the bench, all those good things. They're 8-2 with their original starting lineup. How much will they actually get that opportunity? All right, let's say it's 20 wins, and they have 3 more back-to-backs that don't include this Thursday, this Friday, because Aaron and Payton are not going to play in both of those games if they even play in one, which I think they will on Thursday. I don't want to just go, hey, the answer's not Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson walking through the door, because I actually think it is. I think it helps out a ton. You're telling me honestly, your best overall defender is Aaron Gordon, because he can guard the perimeter, and he has enough muscle mass and weight to guard the post as well. So your best overall defender is going to come back, and that doesn't help your basketball team. You're a fool if you think that's the truth. And then, by the way, Peyton Watson, who is your, 2A, 2B, wherever you rank Christian, second best defender, and then now you have Bruce Brown as the other guy up there, and the offensive output that Peyton Watson has shown us he can do basically on a night in and night out basis. So you're telling me a guy that has now shown us he can score 30 points when he's right, and even when he's not right, and he's getting involved with the starters, he can give you 15 to 20 points every night. And then the guy that's going to come back that can check a post player and say that guy averages 20 points and Aaron brings it down to 10, or check a perimeter player and say that guy scores 20 points and Aaron brings it down to 12. All right, so you're telling me a guy that can score 30 and a guy that can have a difference of like 15 points a game because of his defensive presence isn't going to make a difference? Of course it's going to make a difference. Will it solve all the problems? Are they going to fix Joker's turnover issues? No. But everybody being able to go back to what their original role is supposed to be, dude, that takes the world off of some of these guys' shoulders.
Yeah, it takes the world off of, and I'm not so sure it might clean up some of those turnovers because your spacing is going to be different. Your confidence is going to be different. With Peyton Watson, even outside on the perimeter, that's going to be a different spacing, and you're going to get different defensive attention because you've seen AG hit big threes. You've seen Peyton Watson go ham offensively, and I think all these are factors in how the Denver Nuggets can look different going forward. So it's not panic button time, but the panic button is clearly there. So I want to see what it looks like when everybody's back, and then I want to see how much of those issues are still there, mainly Joker's turnovers. Plus, I want to watch the frustration level that Joker is getting to at this point of the season with the lack of calls that he's getting out there and how he's getting hammered. Whether it's little guys or big guys, now teams are really starting to take that too, defensively making Joker work and kind of harassing him a bit on both sides of the court. I want to see how that looks going forward. So it's staying healthy and then re-observing this thing because they've got flaws. They are potentially a flawed champion, but almost every team that gets there is going to have some flaws along the way. Can you clean it up? Can you be better than you've shown? And does a full-strength team let the Jazz hang around? No, of course not.
Yeah, I mean, you would love to say no, they don't. But, again, this has been from Michael Malone to now David Adelman. There's this problem with the Denver Nuggets when they gear down, when they think they're good enough to just show up. That's why I've been telling you it's about getting a guy that calls the other guys out on the team, appear to call them out, not your boss, and that's what the coaching staff has looked at. And I mean, look, we've all played sports, right? Even Pop Warner, you're like, the coaching staff is the coaching staff. Yeah, they can say it all they want. My teammate gets in my face, it's going to carry a little bit more weight. That's what they actually need, is guys in that room to be holding each other accountable, because until I see otherwise, I don't know how serious they take David Adelman as the basketball mind that he is. I'm not saying David Adelman's not smart. He knows a whole lot about basketball. It's literally been his entire life with who his father is. But I'm just saying I don't think that they go, whoa, hey, David's talking. Coach is talking.
DA's talking.
Chill out. Let's listen here. I don't think that's what he's got in that room.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it might be nice to have someone who's the aloha. It might be nice to have someone who would be the guy that kicks everybody in the ass verbally and gets this team going, because that's not going to be DA. I've often said it, and it's parenting, so people have different ideas about everything, but I've always said, like, I want to be friends with my kids, but I'm still their dad. I'm not going to be your best friend.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
going
they
to
need
tell you
parents.
something when something's a little off. I've said it to my own parents, my mother when she was alive and my father still today. I've said, I would have appreciated some more parenting when I was 21 being an idiot instead of kind of hands off type of stuff. No, I always can be that parent. I'm not saying that I've done a better job or whatever. I'm just saying I think you always need that kind of adult in the room and you need that authority figure, and DA maybe doesn't have that cachet because he was always the good cop compared to Michael Malone's bad cop. So now everyone's just like, oh, DA's in charge. Oh, we got it. This is great. It's going to be and I would say this, and there's something to be said about this that's a credit to David Adelman. It's got to be a joy to work there now compared to when Calvin and Michael weren't talking to each other.
The vibes are better, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
I think everybody's on the same page for the first time in about 4 years.
Can I have some wins, please, against good teams, please?
Yeah.
Because OKC, it's not going 7 with OKC. If you play like this when everybody's healthy, it's a gentleman's sweep. That's the type of machine that the Thunder are. And they're not even at full strength. The Minnesota Timberwolves, you think that's a 7-game series? That might be a gentleman's sweep if you're not playing better basketball. This team needs to get it right. They've got about 20 games to do it.
David Adelman did say, actually, we'll hear from him. He's not going to apologize for wins.
I guess nowadays people judge wins. I don't. Wins are wins, losses are losses. We would have beat OKC and Caruso misses that 3 and we lose tonight. What's the difference? We're just trying to win, get ourselves to a good place. So just proud of the guys just staying with it. There was no panic. They made huge shots at the end. I just, just an unbelievable effort from the team to stay with it. And Jamal was really special. 45 points on 19 shots.
Now, look, if that's what he's saying to us in the media and then the message to the fans, that's great. But the problem is I want him to be in the locker room going, hey, we just made it way too close with a team that has 18 wins and doesn't even want to win basketball games. If he has that energy in the locker room and then this, phony stuff on the podium, I'm fine with that. But the problem is I don't believe for a second there's any kind of energy or a challenge to his guys in the locker room for the way that they performed. I legitimately think he's just fine with the way that they won. And that's great if you're checking in from time to time. When you cover the team the way we cover the team and you're around it the way that he's around it and is in charge, you can't be okay with how it looked last night. You just can't.
You have to have championship aspirations. And Jamal played a championship game. And listen, Timmy was cold, which, you're going to be cold once in a while as a shooter. I still want THJ out there launching threes all day long.
Green light.
I want him to play as much as possible. That's a forever green light for THJ. But if you're DA, if you're David Adelman, you should have some concerns. At least privately, maybe publicly, he'd never tell us. Maybe that's what it is.
And that's fine. But does any part of you think he's doing that privately?
Well, does anybody believe him when he says that? I don't.
No.
I
watched the game.
It sounds like coach speak. Oh, we're fine, and I don't judge wins. Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, especially now. Now, this part of the season is you want to be firing on all cylinders, and they are certainly not doing that right now. Let's see what Thursday brings with Aaron Gordon and Payton Watson back on the floor. All right, let's get to the Avs. Can Nate, Marty, and Gabe carry the Avs to where they want to be? They play the way they have lately. I think they can. Let's talk about it, what they're doing, and what it can mean the rest of the way coming up next.
Head to Facebook.com/DenverSports1043 The Fan to watch Orange and Blue Today, The Rundown, and Denver Sports Daily on demand. Take your favorite shows with you anytime, anywhere. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
If your heat or AC seems to be running nonstop, no matter the season, no matter the weather, it is Colorado, it's going to change quickly. Your windows are probably to blame, and when window insulation fails, your warm air leaks out into the winter and your cool air disappears into the summer. But my friends, WindowNation.com, they've got the solution. Right now, you can replace your old windows with high-quality, energy-efficient, custom-built windows and save big. The more you buy, the more you save, with up to 50% off every window style. And with financing options like $0 down and payments starting at $199 a month, upgrading your whole home has never been easier. WindowNation.com. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty, and every customer benefits from Window Nation's unmatched quality. A+ rating with the BBB, 50-point factory inspection, 20-point installation inspection, and 96% satisfaction rating. Hurry, the sale won't last. Stop wasting energy and start saving money. I want you to schedule your fast free estimate today at WindowNation.com. That's WindowNation.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Brandon Stokely here from my friends at Roller Auction. Do you have items you're looking to sell? Since 1976, Roller Auction has been conducting commercial and industrial auctions for Colorado government agencies, Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, secured creditors, individuals, and more. They have a large marketplace to showcase your assets, so don't wait. Visit rollerauction.com for a free consultation and turn those items into some cold, hard cash. Again, go visit them at rollerauction.com. That's rollerauction.com.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040, the husband and wife law firm where you don't get passed around to a law clerk or some call center overseas. You always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors. Finished basements, windows, and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
Follow Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
It's no sha-la-la on a Friday, but that woo-hoo-hoo. I'm kind of into that too. I like that noise. Makes me feel good. As we are rolling on till 2 o'clock, then the drive gets in here. Zach By and Philip Lindsay. We're going to talk about some tags. The tag window in the NFL is closing in about 42 minutes from right now, and some of it, what's happening and already has happened, is going to impact the Broncos. So at 1:30, we'll tell you what that looks like. In the meantime, I want to continue to talk about these Colorado Avalanche and who they are right now, who they can be, and let's make fun of Mike Evans a little bit too.
Or a lot.
At 5-on-5, I still think they're the best team in the NHL. And last night gave me more evidence of that because they played 5-on-5 for 20 minutes and 28 seconds. Nathan McKinnon was on the ice when he was on the ice in that stretch as the best player in the world. They had 38 shot attempts to 14 for Los Angeles. They had 22 shots on goal to the 6 that the Kings had. They had 20 scoring chances to the 5 that Los Angeles had. And more importantly, they scored 3 times in that 20 minutes and 28 seconds at even strength with Nate on the ice to the 0 goals that Los Angeles was able to score. So, Cecil, I know we've been nitpicking and they're giving us reasons to do that. But with that information now, knowing who they are 5-on-5, knowing what we've seen out of Kale, what we've seen out of Tave, what we've seen out of Nate, Marty, now Gabe getting a part of this conversation in the game's post-Olympic break, I don't want to say we're worrying for not, because the power play and penalty kill has been a major issue.
Right.
But are we seeing not just like a light at the end of the tunnel, like a major flash at the end of the tunnel with what these guys are doing?
Yeah, with what these guys are doing, you're hoping that that's a major flash, because we saw it earlier this year, and I know that they were stuck on that, but that's what they were. They were unstoppable. And then January happened, and all of a sudden they were stoppable, and all of a sudden they were actually losing games. And now you want to get back to that. Last night could be a sign. Again, last night was weird, coaching change, players making their NHL debut for the Kings. But you can look at it and go, okay, this is a team that knows who they are, that knows how to get it done. And when their stars play like that, when Gabe plays like that, when Nate plays like that, like that's when you can take it over the top. Marty Netchus plays like that. The worry about Marty is always postseason. We're not there yet, so we just kind of have to put a pin in that conversation. But they know who they are. They know what they can be, and they know that it's cup or bust for them. So I think that light at the end of the tunnel has always been there. It's just something that it's good to see. It's nice for it to come back and for it to shine bright again like it did last night.
Yeah, it's, again, like style points was a big idea of mine yesterday of like, all right, the Nuggets got to Utah, the Avs go to LA. Both teams that you should probably get some style points out of. I do like what you said about the 3 AHL guys getting called up. You think they're going to half-ass it? It's their first ever,
Right.
Especially for Angus, his first ever opportunity and scores a goal. So, yeah, there's a little bit of extra juice right there. I just look at it, all right, the Nuggets are going to get right with some health on Thursday. The Avalanche are getting right now. We got to wait and see what's going on with Arturi Lehkonen and his upper body injury. Jared Bednar said he's not available tonight. We're expecting a week-to-week status, and we'll get that as early as Wednesday. But with these guys doing a little bit more heavy lifting, I think just being on the ice as a group, your roles defined, you're back with your original line mates, you're going to stop being as sloppy. I know Josh Manson got the one penalty last night, but he's literally falling onto the ice trying to keep his stick out in front to fight for the puck. So, that stuff's going to happen. But the overwhelming calls that we saw in the first couple games post-Olympic break, I think that's all going to start to take care of itself. Now, can you convert and score on the power play? Looking at you, Chris McFarland, for changing some stuff around on the roster. And if that's the case and these dudes are doing the heavy lifting, Landy said it earlier, I think they can be peaking by the playoffs again.
Yeah, that would be nice. And it's nice that they have the confidence to know that. We're hearing a lot of confidence from the Avs locker room, whether it's Nate talking, still being mad about the Olympics, Sorry about that, Nate. Canada stinks. USA, woo.
USA, baby.
USA, baby, all day. But if Nate's mad, good. Use it as motivation. But everyone's confident. You hear that. And even Bedsy, at most times being very sedate. You see some fire yesterday with Jared Bednar. You know that's there. You know that this team understands the greatness that is within that locker room, and they carry themselves with that confidence. So I'm expecting more of this against better opponents.
Yep.
And certainly Friday against Dallas is the game we're all looking forward to. And I just asked Spivak, I was like, hey, if they trade for Kadri, can he be ready by Friday? Because that'd be nice.
That would be nice. We got through some immigration stuff coming from Canada, and we'll see what it looks like. But sure would be sweet.
Would be awesome.
It takes a run at it. Oh, I guess Miko's not playing. He's hurt, too.
Yeah.
But just going back to what the guys are doing. How about Marty Netschitz got a 71st point last night? I mean, they have over a month of hockey to go, and his career high is 83 from a year ago. Marty might be flirting with a career year. McKinnon has multiple points in each of his last 4 games that he's playing in. Landy has 5 points in his last 4 games since the break. He had 4 assists in 16 games to start the season. Since then, 8 goals and 15 assists. That's 23 points in 29 games. He's getting better as the season goes on, and now not dealing with the injury. So I'm telling you, McKinnon is getting right. He can still be a little, prissy pants from time to time. Kale jumping up into plays, Devon jumping up into plays like we saw last night. Let's see what it looks like for Arturi, who's a gritty, grinded out, fight in front of the net kind of hockey player. Oh, and by the way, the captain's returning to at least what the form we all thought we might see, unless you're Mike Evans.
Right.
We're getting what Gabe can do at this age, at this point of his career.
Yeah, and you'll take it. You'll take it all day. And why did Mike Evans say that he's been a huge disappointment? Gabe Landeskog has been the exact opposite of a huge disappointment. I think he meant to say huge inspiration, right?
He just
if we
chose
talk
the
about
wrong word.
Mike Evans and huge, we go, okay, his mom jeans, that big old butt, got the huge forehead, that's right.
Shout out, gang. I got
huge
that forehead
love
too.
of all things New England. He tries to hide it, but we know, Mike, we know.
Don't like that at all.
Don't like that at all. But huge disappointment, no. A huge inspiration for his teammates. That's what Gabe Landeskog will be, and honestly will forever be. I think if you're expecting him to be different than what he is, you expect him to have fewer penalties. That's the thing coming out of the Olympics. Like, Gabe, what are you doing? Tackling guys out there?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, a little rusty.
Yeah, a little rusty. Seems like shaking that off quickly, and now can get back to being the Gabe that he is today, which is plenty good enough.
Yeah, that's right. Drew, you got some more numbers to back up Gabe?
Dude, yeah, this whole conversation is it's crazy.
It's ludicrous.
Now, listen. You back to October for Gabe, okay?
Yeah.
12 games in the month of October. Slow start. No goals, 3 assists, right? In the 33 games since November 1st, 8 goals, 16 assists. He's on pace right now for what would be a 49-point season. You go back to the year the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup. You know how many points Gabe had in that season? 59.
I was going to guess 55.
59. The year before, 52 in 54 games. In 2019-2020, 44 points.
And that's with a healthy knee and
Correct.
being him.
Right.
So to think that Gabe's been a massive disappointment is, to put it nicely, it's crazy.
It's wrong.
Isn't it
It's
almost
wrong.
the other? He's actually been a massive a reason to be excited. Like, I didn't know if he'd ever get back to this guy.
Right.
And now he's here.
Because that's the thing. Like, I think you asked the question earlier, what were your expectations of him going in? For somebody who hasn't played the game of hockey in 3 years.
And he's never a 70-point guy.
No,
That's not who he is.
No. He's got 70 points one time in his entire career. That's it. One time. Gabe is not Nathan McKinnon. He's not Marty Netschitz. That's not his game. So to expect that is crazy.
Yeah. I can't wait till tomorrow when we get here. I just want to talk to Evans.
Yeah, I can't even believe that he said that this morning, I'll be honest.
It's a big one coming up the rest of the week. And, of course, it's trade deadline in Dallas on Friday. I bet Avs fans just want to fast forward this week and get to Friday, and we certainly understand why. Ducks tonight. We'll preview that game coming up at 1:45 and then obviously be reacting to what it looks like tomorrow right here on the show. All right, 30 more minutes. See, the tag window in the NFL is coming to a close. We know what the Jets have decided to do with running back Breece Hall. Some other tag decisions have been made around the NFL. We'll tell you what they are and what this tag means for Breece and the Broncos coming up next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Hey guys,
Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
Hey, what's up? It's Zach here. And if you're looking for your new go-to spot in Centennial, the House is it. Award-winning food and drinks, an incredible weekend brunch, and a brand new sports bar entertainment space where you can catch every Colorado game. Even if you're not playing, it's a great hang. But if you are, their private basketball suites are unreal. Full court, lounge, music, TVs, the whole setup. And because you're hearing this from me, get half off your first private basketball suite rental. Just use code HALFOFFHOOPS. Trust me, you're going to love this place.
You know, it's funny. All the answers to all the questions are right here in front of us. All we have to do is ask ourselves, as human beings, what we ourselves like. This is Glenn Jamrot. I'm president of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. For instance, you like it when people care about you. You like it when people listen. You like when people understand. Listening, caring, and understanding are keys to happiness. They hold the answers in all our questions. What does any of this have to do with Alpine Bank? After all, aren't all banks the same? No. At Alpine, we are human beings first and bankers second. Banking is what we do, not who we are. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado, and you.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 27 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Tom's Garage Door, Tom's Garage Door. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
Don's Garage Doors, Don's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Running a business is hard enough. Odoo makes it easier with one simple, all-in-one platform. Start today at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Oh, yeah. We all know these guys.
We got to put this in the rotation, man.
This is good.
Celebrate 303 Day
Yes.
with your guys from 303.
I know. I'm an idiot. I probably could have got Sean to call in and talk some Nuggets with us. I forgot it was today. We'll be ready for this next year, though.
Okay.
They do have a new album now, too. And they're touring a little bit right now. So if you're into the guys, man, go give them some love. Support them. Check out their Instagram. They're always doing fun videos on Instagram. But 303 Day. It's always big here in the Mile High City. So fired up for it. Nice work. Nice touch there from Kevin Kistner. Give us a little bit of the jam. All right, Cecil, I want to talk to you about the tags that are coming to an end here in about 25 minutes. Teams have until 2 o'clock Mountain Time to decide whether or not they're going to use a tag on a player. And then, of course, what kind of tag are they going to use on a player? What's recently happened is the transition tag for Daniel Jones. That's going to earn Daniel Jones, if they don't agree upon a deal, $37.83 million this year. But other teams can basically negotiate and have conversations with Daniel Jones, and the Colts would have final say. So we'll see how they handle that. Paying Daniel Jones $37.8 million seems like something I don't know that I'd be interested in doing, but we saw what that team looked like when he got hurt.
Yeah.
So they might not have much of a choice.
Yeah, so it's interesting the tag decisions that are coming down, and now the conversations that are being had about who's going to be an unrestricted free agent, who's going to be available for teams like the Denver Broncos, and a lot of people saying the Denver Broncos is going to be in on Kenneth Walker.
Well, Breece Hall's out because he got the official franchise tag that's $14 million attached to it and a couple first-round picks if you want to take him out of New York City. I'm not interested in doing that for a running back. I don't think you are either.
No. And the Jets, man. The Jets!
The Jets are going to jet.
Yeah, the Jets are going to jet. Sorry, Breece. You're stuck there.
Yeah. I mean, let's not feel too bad for him. He's going to get $14 million and live in New York City. I bet you he'll be okay. All right, now where do we turn our attention? Is it Kenneth Walker as the next man up? Is it a Travis Etienne, who I know I like, a Tyler Algier, who I certainly know you like? Look, I like all of those names. I would probably, in my pecking order, go Travis, Tyler, Kenneth. Kenneth is, I know he's coming off the Super Bowl MVP. I think what Travis Etienne could do here as a running back, running the football, and then a pass catcher coming out of the backfield. I'm really intrigued by Travis Etienne. I think that's where my attention is.
Is it because Travis would essentially, I mean, he's your one.
Mm-hmm.
If you get Walker, he's working with RJ. If
Like
you
straight
get
splits?
Tyler, you're working with RJ. Yeah. I mean, if you get Etienne, you don't, I'm not going to say you don't need RJ Harvey because that sounds like too hyperbolic.
Yeah. I feel like you've been trying to get rid of RJ Harvey since the season ended.
Well, no. I don't think the development is there as a runner that some people think.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are like, just give him time. He's had his time. That's who he is. He's going to score you a bunch of touchdowns. He's going to be a good receiver out of the backfield. But if you have Travis Etienne, isn't he going to do the same thing and
better?
provide you as a runner?
Yeah.
So I got to ask you now, Mr. Replace RJ Harvey. Do you like Travis because of explosive playmaking ability? Because for me, and it's maybe a stylistic thing, I want the opposite. I want a power guy. And ETN, as much as we can praise this game, and it's very praiseworthy, you can't say he's a power guy.
No.
I want that mud plow. I want that snow plow. I want that 4x4. I want a guy out there that can run down your throat. And I really don't see Travis Etienne as that guy. I see him as a guy who could take over and be your one back, and that's it. And RJ's just getting scraps. I know that they like RJ a lot. So, because of that, that's why I've got Tyler Algier at the top of my free agent wish list, because Algier works in tandem, or would work fine in tandem, like he did with Bijan Robinson. Now, RJ Harvey's no Bijan Robinson, that's for sure. But a guy that's working in committee, has a clear role defined in the committee, isn't going to be like, I would have caught that pass. Like, Algier's a good enough receiver, but he's not the receiving threat that RJ is. I like the idea of having both power and speed.
I like that.
Instead of ETN is like speed, and Harvey, what do you got? I got more speed.
Well, see, what scares me about the scenario you're painting here, or the picture you're painting, is, all right, if they look at Travis Etienne as this be-all running back, and he can do everything, and then you have RJ as your break glass in case of emergency, and of course Tyler Bidet will be hanging around for some strange reason, it worries me that they'll go, oh, we're good. They don't have to do anything else. And I don't think that that's the case. I don't know if just adding it, are you going to have a running back room with J.K. Dobbins, Travis Etienne, and R.J. Harvey? That seems unlikely to me.
Yeah, and the J.K. Dobbins fascination is, well, it's interesting. I'll say that. And J.K.'s a really good man, and he's top 5 back when he's healthy. Whatever I got to say, he's never going to be healthy.
It's just,
so
to
this
me,
fascination is like you're setting yourself up for disappointment, man.
I know. It's a position of, hey, do we want to do this again in December of 26 or even November when he actually got hurt, of going, man, this team is a wagon right now. Oh, they just lost the guy that they can trust on first and second down. Now what happens?
And it's past the trade deadline, so you can't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm in the J.K. Dobbins business anymore.
I would say this. There's a couple things that got in your way last year. One was not, and they tie in with running back, like not getting your first rounder as an impact guy that year. And then the trust of J.K. Dobbins, which was foolish. You should have never trusted him. He's missed more games than he's played in. And that's still the case now that he got hurt with the Denver Broncos when he did. So there's a couple things that prevented you from going to the Super Bowl. Your decision of running back's the big one.
Yeah.
You got to get that one right.
Is there a decision this team would make if they go get Travis Etienne and they think he's a full-time back?
Yeah.
And then they just go Etienne, Harvey, Bidet, and they wouldn't do anything in the draft?
No, you'd draft somebody.
Okay.
You would.
Because that's a scary thought of not picking someone in the draft to at least have a development plan for.
Right. And that's the thing. When you pick someone in the draft now, they have time. If you have Travis Etienne and RJ Harvey, then your back has plenty of time to kind of learn the ropes and grow and, try to develop as much as you can. You still need to be ready to go when you get that, and that when you get that opportunity. By the way, my buddy Ian Hartitz on Twitter did have drop rates for rookie running backs.
Wow.
And if you like Mike Washington, you might not like him after I say this. 7.5% drop rate.
Wow.
Jonah Coleman, 0.9%.
Wow.
Less than 1% drop rate. Jadarian Price, by the way, 0 drops.
Damn.
0.
He scored
Jonah
13
Coleman
touchdowns
only
last
had,
year.
on 109 targets, Jonah Coleman had 1 drop.
Damn.
1 drop.
Cortland
Mike Washington
Sutton's like, is that legal?
On a similar number of targets, 107 targets for Mike Washington, 8 drops.
Damn.
So we love Mike Washington.
I love the body of Mike Washington.
But when people ask, like, is this combine going to make him? No, the film. The film is what matters the most. And Jonah Coleman's the superior player.
I like what you just did there. For your guy, Jonah Coleman.
Well, I'm just going to say, like, we can be excited about the combine and we can be excited about Mike Washington. We should be excited about Mike Washington. But when you throw in drop rate, dude, this team had a problem with drops.
They've led the league the last 2 years in drops. Bo's first 2 years in the NFL, his wide receivers led the league in drops. Let's get away from that for the foreseeable future.
It'd be nice.
All right, let's call out our last name for our super fan send-off. We're trying to send somebody to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. It's all set up, and thanks to 303 Law 4040, our 1 o'clock name is Dylan Harris. Dylon Harris, we're looking for you, sir. Give us a call back. You have 10 minutes to hit us up at this number, 303 713-1043. If you do it, Dylan Harris, your name goes into the drawing for the Superfan Send-Off Grand Prize. That's a pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for you and a guest from Denver to Las Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and how about $500 preloaded on a Visa gift card. It could all be yours, Dylan Harris, if you call us now at 303-713-1043. If you haven't done what Dylan did, which is get to DenverSports.com/superfan and sign up, what the heck are you waiting for? Get signed up right now. We're calling names every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p. If you sign up now, the next name we call, it could be yours. Zach and Phil will have that for you in the 2 o'clock hour.
Super quick. I just ran across another number. When you tie in, it's called the little things. Career drop rate, pressure rate allowed, so pass protection, and then fumble rate. The number one running back in this class is Jonah Coleman.
Nice.
Don't give me that. When I profess that Jonah Coleman is my favorite back, and he's even above Jeremiah Love in those categories, by the way. I'm not saying it as any sort of disrespect for Jadarian Price or Jeremiah Love. I'm just telling you, Jonah Coleman's the best back in this class. You can get him at 30. Denver, don't screw it up.
Mic drop right there from Cecil freaking Lammy. All right, we got to come back, wrap this thing up, put a bow on it for the drive. We'll get you ready for the Avs and Ducks tonight over in Anaheim. But before we do that, something happened today that I didn't know if it would ever happen in the history of the world, Craig. Russell Wilson stood up for himself. He's got some words for Sean Payton. You'll hear him next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Gentlemen, I got a personal question for you. We're bros. We're homies. We're in the tribe, right? The trust tree in the tribe. How's your sex life? We could be honest with each other. Are you even having any sex? Sex, intimacy, it's essential for a fulfilling relationship. And if erectile dysfunction is keeping you from that, it doesn't just affect you. It affects your partner, and it puts unnecessary pressure on yourself and your relationship. Remember the first time you didn't perform, you probably laughed it off. No big deal. Did it happen again and again and again? And now you know it's a real problem. What are you going to do about it? It's not going to fix itself, but I promise you, my team over at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic can help you. They have success rates at 90%. They have served the Front Range for nearly a decade and treated tens of thousands of men just like you dealing with ED. Your first visit is only $99, includes a medical consult with a Colorado licensed medical provider. They'll draw your blood, tell you what your T and PSA levels are, and if medically advised, they're going to suggest you take a test dose right there in the office. If that test dose doesn't work, your visit is free. Did you hear what I said earlier? It works in over 90% of men. I've heard my guy Jeff Dillon tell some stories of it worked, and they needed to leave the office immediately to take advantage, if you know what I'm saying. So stop putting it off. Your stomach can't hurt every night. You're dealing with erectile dysfunction. There's no better place to get it taken care of than RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Are you one of those people who dread going to the dentist? If so, have you tried sedation dentistry? Learn more about sedation dentistry at coloradosedation.com. Sit back, relax, and dream with the most experienced sedation dentist and staff at Clarkson Dental.
Between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Colorado, this is it. 2026 RV product rollouts are live at the Great American RV Show. Airstream Stetson 4.6s, New Trade Wind, Unmapped, Bliss Mobile, Chinook, Storyteller GXV. March 12th through the 14th, Colorado Convention Center. $12 online. See it first.
SodaWeightLoss.com is state-of-the-art, and SodaWeightLoss.com helped me lose 60 pounds a few years ago, and I've never gained the weight back. Why? I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. I had a real nutritionist there to help me along the way through my journey. I joined Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. You want to lose that weight? 1-866-800-SODA, online at SodaWeightLoss.com. They are there for you like they were there for me. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is state-of-the-art.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports. Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, Avs and Ducks coming up tonight. And they're going to do that dance at 8 o'clock. So it's another little bit of a later start out there in California. It should start real close to 8, I'd guess, like 8:03, 8:04, something like that. It's when the actual puck is going to drop. We're going to preview that game, talk about what we expect to see. Will the top dogs continue to do the heavy lifting? But before we do that, I mentioned Russell Wilson. And we kind of moved on, right? From Russ, and the dead cap's now officially over.
We moved on.
It's like over.
Not everybody moved on.
Some people hold on to that stuff for life.
Sean.
Russell Wilson was on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast. Is that like Taylor Lewan and those guys, right? I don't really follow the podcast. I'm aware of it, but I don't consume it. But Russell Wilson was on there. And what gets brought up is Russell Wilson's tweet about Bountygate, which happened during this season, because Sean said another thing about one Russell Wilson. So here's Russ doing something I never thought we'd get out of Captain Cornball, sticking up for himself.
Classless, ... but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Now,
I don't say much. I never hardly ever say anything. I think there's a time and place. But sometimes you get fatigued of people talking about you. You just say, like you mentioned, you're all human. You know, but it's one thing for people that maybe aren't in the field, or aren't, people say bots or whatever, or you've been on the same side of this and that. And I got the same amount of rings as you got, meaning Sean. Listen, I got a lot of respect for him as a play caller, this and that. But to take a shot, I don't like. I don't think it's necessary, especially when I'm not even on your own team anymore. So for me, I've realized I've stayed quiet for so long. There's a time and place where I'm not. For me, I know who I am as a competitor, as a warrior, as a champion too. I've beaten Sean too. You know, like we've been on the same place and same thing. And so it's not a matter of disrespect. Just don't disrespect me.
All right, me talking about, hey, I got the same amount of rings as that guy.
Yeah,
has.
we got to chill on the warrior talk.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, you play a game.
Yeah.
You're not a warrior.
It's to me of like, okay, can I understand why he's doing it? Absolutely. Now, I don't subscribe to what he's talking about, and if you follow me on Twitter, you probably realize if you got something to say to me, I'm down for it. Let's have the conversation. Now, I don't really want to do it with my thumbs. If we really got a problem, let's talk about it, and let's figure out what we're going to do about said problem. Now, he's saying the bots is the term to use, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then hey, if you're not in my arena, you know what? I get he's basically talking about media guys like myself. I kind of respect that, to be honest. Like, hey, you've never done this. I think that can be a tired take at times,
Yes.
but it's not like he's doing it over and over or beating you over the head with it. He is right. I've never been in that arena. So if the guys are coming at you on Twitter and they're not of your level in your mind, yeah, it's probably a little bit easier to ignore. I will say this. I obviously, with everybody, thought that it was a failed experiment. He hurt way more than he helped. I have no problem with him doing what he's doing. I actually kind of applaud what Russell Wilson is doing. Anybody that continues to get bullied, and let's not get this twisted, Sean was bullying Russell Wilson, and then they stand up for themselves, I applaud that.
Another L for Sean Payton this offseason. And now people, I believe it was Mike Sando on Twitter, that asked the question, quote tweeting this clip of Russell Wilson and said, I wonder why Sean Payton just woke up one day and said, I'm not going to call plays again. And he brings up the great play callers like Mike Holmgren, who Mike Sando did cover there with the Seattle Seahawks. He brings up the great play callers like Mike Shanahan. He actually brings up Mike and Kyle. He brings up both the Shanahans. You know, Andy Reid as a great play caller. Those guys don't just wake up and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to not call plays anymore. It's likely Sean Payton was a suggestion box, or straight up told, you're not calling plays anymore. And so now with this clip coming out and going viral and people, everybody's doing it, everybody's talking about this, people are also asking like, Sean, I wonder what's going on. And Mike Sando subbed up his tweet and said, the things in Denver are interesting. So yeah, they are interesting here in Denver, especially with Sean Payton giving up his play calling to Davis Webb and with Russell Wilson coming back. Here's the only problem. There's one problem, because all this sounds great. Like, wow, Russ has a backbone.
He did it, right.
Russ stood up for himself. Russ talking about Sean Payton because Sean Payton was completely bullying him. Here's the only problem. Knowing Russ as much as I, can know Russell Wilson, I'm here to tell you everything he does is calculated and fake. Everything. I'm the guy that he stood up and yelled at the Senior Bowl.
Oh, yeah,
maybe the
right.
most non-fake moment in Russell Wilson's football career. I'm the guy
What was
that
it
he
about being
puffed
under
up to.
center? Or-
No, it was about Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
I said, hey, you want to come to Denver and back up Tim Tebow? And he got in my face, and then afterwards, my buddy Matt Waldman was like, what the hell did you say to Russell Wilson? And I said, I just asked if we want to back up Tebow. It was the day after the Broncos lost to the Patriots in the divisional round.
I got spanked.
Yeah, spanked with Tebow as quarterback. But I love asking those questions that are a little, going to get interesting answers. I didn't think Russell Wilson would get in my face, but I'm here to tell you, in covering Russ from his days in college till now, that answer is likely rehearsed. That answer is 100% fake. So, like, whatever audience he's with, he will talk differently. We don't necessarily have to get into that if you don't want to. He will have different mannerisms. Based on where he's at, Russell Wilson, there was the one time he pulled the sympathy card with us in the Denver media of, I'm getting
He's looking
benched.
for sympathy?
He was looking for sympathy when Jarrett Stidham took over. And that was the one moment people were like, Russ was real. And me and Mace were like, he wasn't real. He was playing the sympathy card. Russell Wilson does and says things that help Russell Wilson. So while that's a great quote and it's a great, interesting conversation and it is going viral right now and everybody's talking about it, I can tell you with certainty that's fake.
Okay.
So his answer, he's got some balls. Yeah, whatever. They're fake. They're like the little truck balls, right? They're they're not actually real. They're just hanging from somebody's bumper.
I told you when we found out this clip was public, I just saw a clip of him maybe a couple weeks ago. I think it was when I was out on vacation. He was on, I'm assuming his wife has a podcast. Sierra, everybody has a podcast, right? And he was on there and she was asking him some questions and he dropped the F word a couple times.
She was asking him questions?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was fascinating.
Oh, it was dynamite content. That's why I can remember it all. And
how did that come up in your timeline? My timeline is UFOs, Latina baddies. Your timeline's Russell Wilson?
Well, Sierra pops up quite a bit. I'm trying to 1-2 step right into her life. And when he said the
Easy, Nathaniel Hackett. Well, he's got Russ. He's married to Sierra. Oh, my God. Hackett. We got a gooner. What? Hackett. You're crazy, man.
That was good. That was good. But when he said the F words, I like you, I'm like, what? That's not who you are. Stop trying to be this different person. Maybe it is fake. Maybe it is rehearsed. He's clearly trying to keep himself in conversation.
Sure.
Because he thinks that there's going to be an opportunity for him as soon as next week to find a new place to play football.
Right.
Which I'm not sure is true based on what has happened the last couple of years.
Look
But
at the
I
buzz.
just, real quick, the point is like, hey, fake, probably right. You're probably right. It is fake. Standing up to a bully, always going to applaud that, even though it might be, Captain Cornball doing it.
Somebody told me to do that.
Rehearse,
Dude,
right.
you better go on there.
When you said rehearse, I'm like seeing him in the mirror, practicing it to himself. One of those 12 bathrooms he has. He's in there just locked in.
I would say this, and let's note on that point. Look at the talk about the Vikings. The Vikings, what did come up on McAfee? Like, the Vikings are interested in a veteran quarterback. We're hearing Geno Smith.
Kyler Murray.
We're hearing Kyler Murray. We're hearing Kirk Cousins. Have you ever heard Russell Wilson's name?
His name hasn't been attached to anything since the Super Bowl.
Is it a quarterback desperate league?
Oh, yeah.
And Russell Wilson quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about him?
Mm-hmm.
I think that gets people talking about him, which is exactly what Russell Wilson wanted.
You're right.
He sucks.
That's how Kevin feels. Quarterback. The NFL is a very quarterback desperate need. They're like my buddy Ben at 1 a.m. at the bar. Whatever works.
Putting Ben's business in the streets.
Yeah, that's because he's listening. I'm
okay.
blasting a little bit. All right, well, that's the clip. Do you think it's real? You standing up to a bully, or did he rehearse that line 68 times before he got on the actual podcast?
He probably had Sierra yell at him and make him cry. Like, I'll get through it, Sierra. Trust me.
All right, it's KKFN HD1, Longmont, Denver, Mitchell at Cease. We got Avs action tonight. They're in Anaheim. Second half of a back-to-back. Going to drop the puck shortly after 8 o'clock, and then the big one comes on Friday and Sunday when you go Dallas and Minnesota, at Dallas, at Minnesota. Another crack at those pesky Wild. But it's again tonight. What I want to see, more of this. Well, what I really want to see is Gabe go nuts so we could roast Evans in the morning. But Gabe continued to contribute.
Yeah.
Nathan with that aggressive manner, but not making everybody else walk on eggshells. And I want to pay attention to Cale Makar and Devon Taves here over the next 4 or 5 games. Let's see how aggressive they are from that blue line, knowing that they can contribute scoring-wise.
That pairing is magnifique. So go out there and look good. And I don't know, should I cut Mike Evans off the burrito train? Or does he need
Craig
a
and the
burrito?
guys already wanted to.
Yeah, Craig and them, what had happened is they said he didn't like Bo Nix, so he can't get any burritos.
Yeah.
Then he's been off his game. So maybe I should get him one just so he'll be like sane again.
See, the best thing that could happen for us, because we just like to make fun of our friends, is that Gabe has a hat trick tonight. That would be outstanding for all of us.
Yeah, but then here, I know Mike Evans' game. This guy's been doing it forever.
He's
right?
good. That Evans is good.
You know what he's going to do. Gabe has a hattie. You know what Evans going to do.
He motivated him.
The Avs were listening to me. I motivated Gabe Landeskog. I've been in this market for 30 years, and I motivated Gabe Landeskog. That's exactly what Evans would do. Exactly.
Yeah. You know what? I'd probably play that card too if I were him.
Well, when you say something like that, huge disappointment. Mike?
Yeah.
Come on, Mike. Come on.
That was an interesting choice of words there.
That was a very interesting choice from one Mike Evans, but it was nice to hear him talk about sports and talk less about Zach Bye, which the morning show seems to be obsessed with. But when he says that about Gabe, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But the Russ thing, you guys, have you heard the Russ thing now? The clip we just played, it's fake as all day is long. Like, I don't know if you guys would have the same opinion. And I know I didn't mean to, cut you off at the knees there, Dover, because Dover's like, he stood up for himself. And so I got to thinking, I was like, oh, he doesn't do anything that's not rehearsed and to help himself.
Did he
when
know,
nobody
though?
talking about Russell Wilson, now we're talking about Russell Wilson.
Interesting. I didn't think about it like that because I don't know, does Russ know that he's going to be asked about that? You know
I would
what I'm saying?
imagine in having interviewed Russ, not in that format, a podcast format, I would imagine knowing Russ and the handlers is he's going to tell you, hey, you're going to ask me about this, right?
Team me up
Or
on
give
this,
me the list of questions that you're going to ask me, and I will approve said questions. Again, it's just a guess, but having been around Russell Wilson quite a bit, I would guess that's probably right.
So he was on with Bussin' with the Boys, right?
Yeah.
So like, former players. I wouldn't be surprised if Russ asked like, hey, what type of questions are you gonna ask me? Just a heads up, so I understand or know what to go about with this situation. So I'm not against that, Cease, but I'm like with Josh. I feel like he was standing up for himself. I think that you sit here and Russ is right. Like you sit here and if you haven't been in that building, I'm not saying everything with Russ went right. But Russ is sitting there saying, there's a shot being taken at me, and I'm tired of just sitting here taking the thing, and I'm going to launch back. I actually liked that Russ went out there and fired back at Sean. Sean's fiery, but Russ needed to do that because Russ sat there for so long and just took it.
No, that's what I said. Like, I'm not going to push back that it was rehearsed, and for a reason, because it probably was. But the fact that you're just sticking up to somebody that's been punching down at you for a few years, I like that. That's what I would do. I'd want to literally punch back. And I like the fact that Russ is doing it in his way of doing it.
And what was I'm trying to remember, what was the initial shot recently that Russ fired the tweet saying you're doing Bounty Gate 15 years later?
It was after the Giants game, and he said, we were hoping that kid was going to go after us.
Oh, yes.
With Jackson Dart.
Yes, okay,
Right.
good memory. Yeah, like, hey, we thought he could play. We were hoping we were going to see the other guy.
And that's
type deal.
Sean taking a shot, but
Totally.
kind of a veiled shot, and Russ coming back. The difference is, Phil, and I your opinion is very valid, but you're a real person. Russ is not. Russ is not. Based on who he's around, he'll give you different answers. He'll give you different personalities. He'll start talking differently.
I have seen some of those
If
weird
I take
videos where it
you,
is-
let's
his
say,
whole dialect changes.
Phil, I get you to go watch a 6-man football game with me out at Grover, Colorado.
Yeah.
You're not going to go out there and be like, hey, y'all, I'm Philip Lindsay. What's up, y'all? You're not going to change the way that you talk or the way that you behave. You're going to be Philip Lindsay because you're a real person and people love you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Russ is as fake as they get. So he's standing up. He's got balls, everybody. Those are the truck balls. Those are truck nuts. Those aren't real.
I think two things can be true at the same time here because I have a tendency to side with what it sounds like was Dover's side, and Phil joining that side as well. Is like he is genuinely he's tired of getting hit. He's tired of getting hit, and if that's what it is, then that's what it is. I don't blame him at all. But I do find myself agreeing with Cecil, like big picture wise, like Russ was so orchestrated with like every step, was
calculated.
Very much so, and he was he was just. Oh, man, he was just one of my least favorite athletes I've ever covered. I know I've told you that before, but he rubbed me the wrong way 50 different times. And just because, like, I'd rather deal with someone that I know is not a great dude and doesn't try to act like he is a great dude.
Just be who you are.
Like Pac-Man Jones.
Mhm.
Like, I struggled more covering Russell Wilson than I did Pac-Man Jones just because he would misrepresent so often, and obviously it culminated with a charity that was, I mean, goodness gracious, it was illegal. I mean, it just such a bad look. Only donating the 21 cents out of every dollar, then paying the leader of the charity hundreds of thousands of dollars to work for you directly, which is again quite literally illegal. So all that stuff, but there's 50 micro stories that you guys all know that it was just like. This is someone who wore his own jersey. This is someone who had to have his doors open for him. This is someone who bought 4 tickets at Ball Arena.
Had his own office.
Yeah,
inside the office. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, but having four courtside seats, not because there's 4 people, so
nobody sits by it.
No one could sit next to him and see, like just stuff like that, hanging plexiglass from Ball Arena in the suite, so the suite next to you couldn't like reach out and dap you up. Just stories like that. It just. I don't like that stuff. And
I thought that was COVID, man. I thought that was.
He kept the plexiglass.
6 feet, man.
He was social distancing. That's why no one could sit next to him.
That was COVID.
He's short anyway. You already got the 6 feet away from him because he's so tiny.
You didn't want to dap little Cody up, man. So you put the plexiglass up.
And I think of and not to use another human being as a post for what Russ was not, but we have someone right here in our community who won 5 NFL MVPs. 5. He opens his own doors. He sits with the crowd at the Nuggets games. His name's Payton Manning.
And he brings his kids to the game.
And it's just like, and there was just such, you know what it was? It was elitism to like a degree that I had never
I'd never seen that level of.
Russ had you always say he had Globo Gym vibes. We're better than you, and we know it.
Yeah,
That's
and
kinda how he
Seattle
felt.
fans before that fell apart. And I still remember the day we were at Brothers Barbecue, and I told you and Stoke, this was like 3 years before the trade. I said, hey, they're going to move on from Russell Wilson.
I remember this, and you
guys thought I was crazy.
Well, it sounded crazy at the time because the guy was just going Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl, winning game after game.
More touchdowns than anybody from like 2017 to 2020, whatever the number was.
Yeah, it was the most touchdowns in the first 10 years of a career in NFL history, passing Peyton Manning.
But what did the Seattle fans always say? Oh, he turned into a celebrity. So he's more about celebrity Russ than he is about football Russ. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate that he would say those things. I generally agree with what you guys say, but I just go, oh, it's fake. It's choreographed. It's rehearsed.
And isn't that's
not real?
That's weird to me. If he was just football Russ, his celebrity would have never stopped growing.
Right.
But he chose one lane instead of letting this character develop who he actually is.
Crazy. And then the fall from grace. But here's the thing. It's like when you behave like that and your teammates are not allowed to have your phone number.
That's crazy.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, that is true.
Who you went to war with, right? And when those guys are not allowed to have your phone number because that's how you view yourself, and then you have the fall from grace that he had, none of your brothers are there to catch you because you didn't treat them like brothers at all.
Nope.
And I just
In fact, they're kind of waiting for it.
Totally. And so, it's teammate after teammate that tells the story. I mean, it's just at a certain point, he viewed himself bigger than the team. He went over Pete Carroll's head and met with ownership and in a power struggle, basically. And so, I mean, there's a cautionary tale in there somewhere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
and
a human story.
Why would he do it now? The question is, life's about timing, and so you go, free agency.
Free agency starts on Monday.
And I just told Dover, like, hey, Minnesota's talking about Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins. 0 people are talking about Russell Wilson except now. Now we're talking about Russell Wilson. So, timing. Who does this benefit? Oh, Russell Wilson. Oh, why did he say that? Oh, to benefit Russell Wilson.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, think about it. Free agency's 6 days away.
Yeah.
Russ wants to get his name out there. Hey,
we haven't heard a peep about him.
No, and he's putting it out there. So, Cease, you may be onto him. He's very calculated. But also, he's a human being inside of all that calculations and thinking he's a computer.
I don't
he
know.
Still has feelings.
I don't know
man.
if he's a human anymore. He's pretty. he's pretty fake.
Yeah. Well, I think that two things can be true. I think you can be super calculated and always trying to control your own narrative. But somewhere in there, I mean, there is a heart. Russell Wilson was a little baby once upon a time that needed to be fed. Russell Wilson was in 2nd grade. Russell Wilson had been embarrassed in elementary school the way that all of us did at a certain point in time. Russell Wilson, he was not supposed to be. And that's my least favorite part of the story because he was actually an underdog story.
Yeah.
And you'd never handled yourself like that. You totally forgot your roots and where you came from, and you viewed yourself as like a presidential candidate. And it's just, like I said, I just think it's unfortunate. And regardless of what successes come to you in life, whether it's football, this job, the business world, like, dude, your feet are still on planet Earth. So act accordingly, in the way you treat people and stuff like that. Like, so there's a cautionary tale in there somewhere. Okay. As we barrel down the road towards free agency, I want to discuss a little rumor that came out of the combine involving a Broncos starter and a potential trade. We'll have that conversation coming up next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize draw.